All right, all right. Here we are. I see y'all. The New York Knicks are in the building. Danny Landis, what's good? I'm K-Ban, what's good? What's goody, what's goody? Let me check something out really quick. Oh, man. Let me check something real quick. Wow, okay. Let me check something real quick just to make sure that everything is good. All right. We good in one place. Hold on. Jeez, let me check another place. Let me check one more place. Stephen Fox was good. All right. Just checking to make sure it's working. Bam. Looks like we straight in both places. What's good, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. How everybody this morning? The Knicks at Night fam is in the building. What's good? What's good? Man, it's good to see everybody up already. Stephen Fox said, "Morning, Freezy. Hope your back is feeling better. Praise the Lord." Hey, yeah, man. Yeah, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. Chef NYK is in the building. What's good? What is good? What's good? Yeah, y'all. I had a few things I wanted to talk about with everybody. Man, just want to thank everybody for all the support. Everybody showing up, feeling good, man. It's a trying to get a new show off the ground. I know you can't burn the candle at both ends, or you're not supposed to, is probably the better way to put it, but you're not supposed to, but like other stuff though, and just want to take advantage of a good opportunity to provide a good service for everybody. All right. So got something I wanted to talk to everybody about. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to get some coffee in a few minutes. All Yep, get ready to get some coffee in a few minutes. I have a topic or two that I want to talk to y'all about, but I wanted to see if there was something that y'all wanted to talk about. Stephen Fox said, "Sleep is so overrated." clearly, Stephen Fox has a sense of humor. Clearly. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is the training camp battles and who we'll have on the roster. I think we all have different opinions on who we'd like. For one, who we'd like to make the roster, and then the reality check of who we think will make the roster. So there's this kid, Jacob Evans, that I like. Kevin Wright was good. Hey, you like Miles Powell? I'm K-Ban. You like Miles Powell? He's slept on a lot. He is under the Knicks radar. He's under my radar, as a matter of fact. I don't talk about Miles Powell much. Not because I have I'm deferential to him. Just put it like that. When I don't often bring up his name because I kind of forget about him. But I don't think he puts that kind of lasting impression on me where I feel like he can compete for a spot. Oh. So Decius Thomas says, "What's good, Knicks?" Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. I can do this. What's good, Knicks family? Here to support, see the growth, gain the knowledge as well as being entertained with like-minded people. Hey, man. That almost made my day right there. Our Future Gaming says, on the real, Powell is or should be a two-way player if there was a G League. I could see that. I could see that too. You know what? Maybe he goes to, or not goes to the G League, but maybe in workouts or something he's given the opportunity to impress, and we mess around and waive somebody, and he takes a spot down the road. We'll see. The thing is, though, if Miles Powell makes the roster, and is added to the point guard depth, who is not going to be here? So your point guards are DSJ, Elfrid Payton, Miles Powell, some dude from France named Frank. I forget his last name. So if Miles Powell makes the roster, does he bump off one of those guys? Delano still in the building. Salute to everyone in the chat. Salute to Freezy, blowing tears. Hey, man. I'm tipping the cap. Delano still gets a tip of the cap. Kevin Wright says, heard that teams were opting out of G League bubble. Not sure if Knicks were one of those teams. I'm not for sure. I hadn't heard the news on that. If anybody finds a source for that, then can y'all let us know? Russell McCall says, why is Pinson on the team? First of all, let's do this. Hey, Russell, I'm not for sure if I've seen your name before. Are you new to this? And if you are not, my apologies. My apologies. Just want to know, just to make sure that we don't overlook you when it comes to the shout outs and stuff. We usually reserve the shout outs for people that have been here 3 or 4 times. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a welcome back, glad you back. But so Russell says that he's new. Hey, y'all welcome. Welcome everybody in the chat. Welcome Russell to the live stream. Hey, Russell, in case this is your first time, and well, you did say it's your first time, but we generally try to shout out everybody. This is more like a Knicks family atmosphere type joint. Eventually, we'll have people come on and join the live stream. Some people that we know, you know what I'm saying, jump on, come back as often as you like. If you like it, you know, subscribe to the channel. Like the video, you know, we like to you know, embrace the viewers and everybody that come in. So, you know what I'm saying, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe to the channel and welcome. So, and secondly, why is Pinson on the team? Man, I have no idea. Why is Theo Pinson on the team? Bro, hey, your guess is as good as ours. Hey, so we hit a milestone. Hold on. I wait a minute. Hold on. Let me. Hey, so we hit a milestone. We hit 500 subs last night, right? That is a milestone, right? Because we didn't start. I think when we started this, I may have started out with 50. I think I may have started out with 50 when I started doing the live streams and the broadcast, because I usually just did videos, just did opinion videos, and then I started going live, and having this Knicks family come in and everybody join and add their opinion, and we started growing like wildfire. So I'm K-Band. You're at 50 now. Hey, before you know it, you may be at 500, 1,000, 10,000. Who knows? Just keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying. Yeah, man. Keep staying on that grind. Just keep staying. Just stay on that grind, man. And success soon come, because success favors those that work hard. Okay, Ben, put the link to your channel in the chat so others can see what it is that you're doing. I don't mind that. Yo, Ismail Rivas is in the building. What's good? Ismail Rivas says, Uncle Freezy, what's going on, bro? Happy Sunday. Ismail Rivas. Tipping the cap to Ismail Rivas. What's good? Hey, congrats on the milestone. Hey, thanks, Steven. Hey, the thing about it is we do this for the Knicks fans. We flat out do this for the Knicks fans, man. We want to make sure the Knicks fans get their fix. You know what I mean? We want to make sure the Knicks fans get their fix. So it's not about me or everybody that jumps on. We legit, want to have a platform for Knicks fans to vent and have their say be heard. And Knicks fans seem to like that. So everybody out there who does the same, hey, much success to y'all. Kevin Wright says RJ, Randle, Knox, Rivers, Obi, Burks, Payton, Frank, Noel, and either Bullock or DSJ are probably going to receive the bulk of the playing time. I can't argue that. I can't argue that at all. I think, as a matter of fact, I think that makes a ton of sense. Hey, Miss Mocha. You don't. Huh? Okay. Thank you. My production assistant bought me coffee. She's a sweetheart. Hey. What's up? Thank you. All right. Hey, man, there's nothing like being supported in your endeavors. You know what I mean? When you have support in your endeavors, man, it makes the endeavors fun and easy. Let me read another. Oh, Stephen Fox. Yeah, you're right. Hey, that's what you call it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I ain't mean for y'all to see all the mushiness. I'm a hardcore Knicks fan. I didn't mean for y'all to see all the mushiness, y'all. But the camp battles, right? So I think the camp battles are going to be really intense. I can already see Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel already, going at it in these camp battles, for the starting spot. I think it means a lot to both of these kids, to Mitch and to Nerlens Noel. I can see it getting. I can see us having a new level of competition. But you know what though? I think the competition is good at this point. I think we've been cruising for so long that with this rebuild, that it's about time for us to get crusty. Chef NYK said quickly is too much of a gym rat and too good of a shooter to not crack the rotation. I agree. But you know what though? I don't think that's going to happen right away. I think that's going to happen maybe January. I see that happening. I definitely see that happen. Maybe January, sometime around the middle of January. Do you think the continuous criticism and slander towards the Knicks is more a result of the sports media dislike for James Dolan? Yes. I think some of it is deserved, and some of it is unwarranted, and some of it is a result of attention, whoring for attention. So here's the one thing. Okay. So first of all, the Knicks historically have not been run in a good corporate way. Let's just put it like that. In terms of how people feel inside the organization and how that view of workers inside the organization are seen by lenses on the outside of the organization. Right? Secondly, when you withhold people from the media and you do your own media stuff and you don't include the national media, when you hold the national media off at a distance, it frustrates the national media. Right? So that's my second and third point kind of combined together. When you have your own outlet to do your sports stuff, you know what I'm saying? It frustrates the hell out of people, because they want to get every ounce, every scoop, everything about your team, and then when you hold everybody off and try to keep it buttoned up, then it frustrates the outside media, right? And third, when you're the biggest boy on the block and you're not successful, you create that monster where it's easy for the national media to pick on you. You know what I mean? Well, like what people do is they look at the Yankees model, and the Yankees, and trust me, the Yankees have ruined it for every team in New York because they had boisterous ownership, historically years and years and years of success. So you create this monster where if you're in New York, you should be winning. That's just what it looks like. If you're in New York, you have all the resources available to you, you should be winning every year, regardless. And I know y'all are gonna say, well, other teams win and they don't get that. But I'm a hold on. So you say other teams win and they don't get this type of criticism, right? I'm going to use, hey, Captain Slim in the building. I'll give you an example. The Dallas Cowboys, right? Dallas is not as big as Brooklyn. How about that? Dallas is not as big as Brooklyn. Or no. Well, yeah, I say that. Dallas is not as big as Brooklyn in population or size. I keep forgetting out by Coney Island and all that. Or at least I don't think so. But the Dallas Cowboys have an intense media focus on them. And they created it. They wanted that, though. They wanted that. I've lived in Texas. Matter of fact, I lived an hour outside of Texas at one time. I lived in I was stationed at Fort Hood. So I forget how far away Dallas was, but I lived close enough to go there on the weekends. Right? There's a laser focus on the Dallas Cowboys, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. Right? They want that. They welcome that. Yo, Tyreek Singleton, what's good? What's good? Hey, and Kevin Wright says, I don't see Quickly beating out Rivers or Burks. I don't know. Burks is pretty good. Burks was a really good signing, in my opinion. That's the assignment says we have the best fans. Dolan don't bow down to the media. I understand that. I don't have an opinion either way about why Dolan doesn't bow down to the media. You know, I mean, I don't have an opinion either way why Dolan doesn't bow down to the media, because I think in a real life scenario where it's not billionaires getting their feelings hurt over stuff said in the newspaper, or fans using the newspaper to bash millionaires, I say it's just a game. So what, right? I love the Knicks and I want them to win the championship, and I'm passionate, right, about it. It's the reason why I'm up 8 o'clock in the morning talking to y'all, right? But at some point, adults need to realize, you know what I'm saying? Adults need to realize, like, some of this stuff that's said, like the relentless bullying of Julius Randle is ridiculous and overblown. Right? So the New York, and I'll tell you why. And I'm including social media in when I say media. Like I'm saying this right here, this platform here is included with all media. Right? Because it's communication between two parties, right? So communication between two parties. That was so not in context of what I'm saying. Well, what I mean, I guess what I mean by communication by two parties is on a grand scale, like one person communicating on a grand scale. I guess that's what you call the media. but to my point though, the fact that the Knicks can't even post happy birthday to Julius Randle on social media without Julius Randle getting bullied by fans is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, man, grow up, people. Grow up. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know? I mean, you can't legit say, oh, okay, so here's my thing about Randle. I'm just going to do my thing about Randle, right? So Julius Randle averages 20 and 10 for us, right? And I'm guilty. I'm in that group that says 19 and 9 to try to diminish what he did. So my man averaged 20 and 10. And people's like, well, he didn't average 20 and 10. Man, he averaged, both of his average are 19 and one average score. He scored more than 19.5 and he grabbed like 9.7 rebounds. I mean, come on, stop being so petty. People, stop being so petty. If Mitchell Robinson averaged those numbers, we'd be saying 20 and 10. It's like to the extent of pettiness with Julius Randle is concerning to me. Right? So here's the thing. We crushed Julius Randle because the team didn't win, but at the same time, nobody crushes. They don't crush the rest of the roster. They don't realize that Julius Randle was playing on a subpar roster. The only time they say subpar roster is we need a higher draft pick. So we don't connect the two together. Like there's no string between the two. Like Julius Randle playing with a bad roster and the bad roster getting us a high draft pick. Right? We need to connect this too where people need to realize that if Julius Randle was playing with a bad roster. So Russell McCall says Julius Randle is the same player we saw in New Orleans. The difference is he had no point guard and he's not a number one option. Hey, bro, listen. God of Moses and Elijah last night said Nerlens Noel put up better stats than Mitchell Robinson, right? And then you still, but we don't listen. We don't put things in context. I'm not knocking God of Moses and Elijah, but what I'm saying is one dude played with Chris Paul and the other didn't, right? One dude played with Chris Paul, the other dude played with Elfrid Payton. I mean, we got to use some context for sometimes, man. We make these arguments and it don't. So Decius Thomas says, does not work all the time. Randle worked hard and gave us his best, but it did not reflect in wins while everyone else on the team was suffering career lows due to bad coaching. I don't think nothing needs to be said after that. Nothing else follows. A statement like that, nothing else follows. You know why? Because it's well said. Hey, thank you for that, Decius Thomas. It's the fact that we got the new shiny toy Obi, and now some fans want to ship out our best player. Randle could be a piece. Randle is a piece. Hey, our future gaming, Randle is a piece. You know how I know? Because the narrative is, oh, now that Tom Thibodeau's here, everybody's gonna improve. Except Julius Randle. We leave Julius Randle out of the conversation. So Julius Randle's 20 and 10 can't be improved upon. I think we're joking. I think we're kidding ourselves. Julius Randle under Tom Thibodeau could be 23 and 10, 23 and 11, something like that. George Alvernia, what's good? Sorry, I was ready to ship him off before Obi. No, man, you can't do that, man. You legit. George, you legit can't turn your roster over every year. That's one of the reasons why we're a laughing stock. Every year we're looking to turn the roster over. Every year. Every year we're looking to turn the roster over. It's one of the reasons why we had Steve Novak and cats with chemistry and wind up trading our future for Bargnani. Then when Bargnani got here, then y'all were like, trade Bargnani. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. At some point, you have to stop starting all over and just dig in with and build on with what you have. Gigi says, what a future he brought. I don't understand, Gigi. I don't understand that comment. Hey, where's my vegan at? I think I saw my vegan in here. Hold on. Grandmaster Vegan was good. Was good. Freezy, you should have told that to Steve Mills. We should have re-signed Vonleh. Hey, man, at some point, you got to stop reacting to what's in the newspaper and what the fans say all the time and just build a good foundation. My concerns with Steve Mills is my main concern with Steve Mills is that he just flat out didn't know what he was doing. He was in over his head. I'm not saying that he's not a smart guy. That's not what I'm saying. I think Steve Mills is a very sharp, very smart person. As far as this running a basketball team, though, no, that's not his bag. No. Yeah, Gigi, that trade was horrible. Because not only did we go backwards with quality on the floor, we gave up future draft picks. God of Moses and Elijah is in the building. What's good? Man, I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. Just talking about you. I was talking about what you said about Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson and free throws and stats and stuff. Let me see here. There's a comment that I want to share with everybody. Where is it? There it is. Steve Mills set us back. He sure did. Bishop M says, if Knox shows any improvement this preseason, it's unfortunate. Oh, wait a minute. If Knox shows any improvement this offseason, it's unfortunate because Randle is still young, watching his spot being taken over by a younger player. So let me first say this. Bishop M, are you new here? Now, I'm asking in a good way. I'm not being shady because I hadn't seen. We usually shout out people, and I don't remember seeing your name. But if you have, just throw a thumbs up in the comment thing so we'll know, or say new or something so everybody in the chat can welcome you and shout you out. Secondly, what he says is if Knox shows any improvement this preseason, I think Knox will show. I think he already has. I think the fact that he's been in the gym is step one to his improvement from last year. And secondly, it's unfortunate because Randle is still young, watching his spot being taken over by a younger player. I don't know for sure if somebody's going to take Knox's spot. And I know that sounds different from the narrative, but the fact that Knox, I mean the fact that Obi Toppin, Knox, and some other guys can get minutes at the 4 doesn't mean Julius Randle won't be a 22-10, 22-11 guy for us in a better offense, and maybe evolve into that that leader that we all need for him to be for us. Now watch this. Rob the Nick asked for 5 bad basketball decisions, not media related, to make Dolan a bad owner. Promoted Mills, and every decision made is a reflection of his hire. Hey, everybody with an opinion doesn't make them a person with a good opinion. I love Rob the Nick. That one right there, though, I understand what he was trying to go with that. And what in a sense what he's saying kind of made, you know, a little sense in expanding the conversation. I just don't think that it should be applied to. It shouldn't be a wide sweeping opinion or indictment on the direction of the team. I just don't think so. But that's my opinion of his opinion. Okay, so Thessalus Thomas says players will appear smarter on the floor if the team is prepared and ready to play every game. Tibbs will make sure of that. Okay. Knox has spent 9 months working with trainers like Lethal Shooter and most importantly, Rick Brunson, who has prepared him for Tibbs' coaching style. Hey, man. I appreciate that point, Kevin Wright. My thing is I don't even care about that. You know what I care about, man? I care about Knox getting physically stronger, so when he gets into the paint, he won't get knocked off his spots. I'm tired of watching Knox get manhandled because of his frame not being able to. He doesn't have the functional strength to execute the stuff that he wants to execute on the court. In terms of quickness, he's got it. In my opinion, in terms of quickness and stuff, I think he's got it. I think he needs to become more fluid and strong, is what I'm getting at. So Bishop M said, I worded that wrong. I was saying if Knox shows any improvement, Randle is as good as being benched. I just can't see Obi putting in work to come off the bench. I just don't see Randle. I think the coaching staff is not going to focus on one guy to improve. I think they're going to improve everybody, right? Randle included. I think the coaching staff is going to look to improve everybody. Everybody on the roster is going to see improvement. And I know that you know, Knicks fans don't want to hear that because they want Obi to be our savior, rookie of the year, rising star, dunk challenge, all that stuff. They want Obi to be the future, and I don't blame them. I'm with you. I legit want to see Obi, you know, be the guy, you know, a guy we can mold into the guy. G says, bro, your camera give me the feel like the girl from Rings movie about to come out and get me. Hey, I know, man. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, though. I mean, I have a setup right behind me. I already have all the setup right behind me. And so it was like, you know, do you do a show till 4 a.m. and then get up and try to battle OBS? You know what I'm saying? Do I battle OBS and then try to do all that? Nah. In the mornings, bro, after I get up at 4 a.m. and they come right back here at 8 a.m., I'm using the laptop. I'm using the laptop, G. I'm sorry. And I know you're gonna say, "Well, buy a better laptop." Okay, I do that eventually. I use my personal money on other stuff. Like I like to go to the car auction and buy cars and try to fix them up. I like to hit, knock the golf ball around a little bit. Um, hopefully I'll be able to buy better equipment down the road. But in terms of what I'm looking to provide in terms of the Knicks stuff, I'll upgrade that stuff. The technology improvement soon come. How about that? Gee, listen. Hey, G, I'm not a thin skinned person. Everybody in the chat know that. I just like to address everybody personally. You know what I'm saying? I think addressing everybody personally just makes it better for the conversation. Like the people in the chat like to know who it is that they're talking to. Julian Blum, that's cool. Hey man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Chef NYK, what do you think about Obi at the three? Keep hearing how versatile he is from Tibbs. Hey, you know what? You know how best not to put a foot in your mouth? Keep your foot on the ground and keep your mouth closed. So I didn't really want to get into that Obi at the three thing. You know what I mean? Because it's Obi at the three. How do you play 4 and 5 in college and then come to the NBA and play the three? I don't know, man. I don't know. I would rather leave that alone. And I would rather see him do it well and then go back and say, yeah, that OB at the three thing was good. Hey, facts. I like to shout out. Hey, we shouting out everybody, man. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. Whether you on your phone or on your computer or using some type of smart device or have it projected on your television, um, we like to shout people out. That's what we do. Like when your family walk in the door, you hadn't seen them in a while. You're like, hey. Oh, you know what? I'll give you a better comparison. Y'all remember that atmosphere on that TV show, Cheers? When everybody that walked through the door, everybody get their names. Hey, Grandmaster Vegan is in the building. That's kind of what we're looking at. You know what I mean? Lifted G says, I ain't buying Obi at the three. Obi at the three, in terms of Obi at the three, I'm keeping my foot on the floor and my mouth closed. It's a double-edged sword. If Obi plays the three, he would score, but would give up 30. Yeah. That's what I mean, man. The Obi at the three. All I'm gonna say is Obi at the three. All I'm gonna say is Obi at the three and just let it rock. So, oh yeah, Stephen Fox. Let me a minute. But real talk, everyone need to give Randle a chance. We had a dumpster fire coaches last year. I think he's gonna have a good year. Obi gonna push him. Hey, I agree. I agree with a lot of that. Most of the basketball decisions are made by the basketball people. The reason why Jordan get blamed is because Jordan is a basketball guy. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Randle will start or be disgruntled and eventually traded. I believe Julius Randle is a starter in the NBA. I think he's a starter, right? I think this narrative of Julius Randle not being the number one option is overblown. I think Julius Randle can be developed into a good low end one option, high end number two over the course of time, but it takes time. It takes time. Everybody's not going to break out the box and be a number one guy. You know what I mean? For the most part, all the young bigs that you've seen come into the league, their development has been enhanced by having a good guard to help them, right? Say for instance, Karl Anthony Towns came into the league, but he had Andrew Wiggins to go through losses with him, right? Anthony Davis came into the league. Thank you. Anthony Davis came into the league, and he had Drew Holiday, some other guys to help him. Zion came into the league, Drew Holiday. You know, who else is a good young big now? Giannis had Jason Kidd basically, helping him. Chris Middleton, right? Who else? John Collins, Trae Young, right? There are a lot of guys. that had help. Don't just look at these things in a vacuum, y'all. I'm not trying to sway you in terms of your like or dislike for a certain guy. What I'm saying is you can't look at say LaMarcus Aldridge. Say you looked at LaMarcus Aldridge, and you're like, yeah, he was developing pretty good, but he had a young Dame Lillard that was heavily invested on getting him better. And sure, he might have been an all-star or a great player before then, but Dame Lillard really depended on him. Now, with that said, who did Julius Randle have with him to help in his development? Working on the lighting. I'm trying to see which light would be best. There it is. Who did Julius Randle have to help him in his development? Elfrid Payton? Hey, Kaiser Sose is in the building. What's good? Where'd your comment go? Oh, there it is. Randle get the blame because he was the leader last year. If we had won, he would gotten the credit, so he had to take the blame, even though some of it's unfair. No, man, Kaiser Sosa, you come in here with that? No, I have to do the Matumbo thing to that because and the reason why I say that, and it's not a bad comment, I just disagree. I'm not saying it's a bad comment. I'm just saying that I disagree with it. The thing I noticed in today's NBA, if the team had started winning, the guards would have gotten the credit. People don't respect big men anymore. People legit don't respect big men anymore. That's just what it is. I'll give you an example. I was playing basketball. I had my fat behind out there trying to run with the young kids, right? And I noticed nobody touching the paint, nobody rebounding. So I take my old man 50-something self, go out there and grab all the boards. I'm setting screens up high, running, and they think I'm out there trying to win. I was actually trying to do cardio because I had ballooned up to like 480 something pounds, right? That's a lot for a human being to be weighing. And it's because of this medicine I was taking. I was putting on more and more weight, right? Because of this medicine I was taking. So I got in the gym, was running, got my cardio up. You know, I got down to like 330 something at the time. So I lost like 50 something pounds, like 159 pounds, 158 pounds, whatever it is. And I'm out there playing with the kids, man. I'm out of breath. I'm sweating. And so I'm grabbing all the boards. I'm setting all the screens by myself, right? And these young boys out there with fancy socks and they cute handles and they jacking up threes. I might have had like 30 rebounds because these kids can't shoot. At the end of the game, they go over to this young fella. This young dude hit like 3 threes. They're like, "Hey, man, good game. You saved us." And I was like, "Dog, I had like a jillion rebounds. This dude ain't did nothing but hit a couple of threes off the wing. I mean, what are y'all talking about?" Right? That's my personal experience. And then I watched Julius Randle, and Julius Randle averaged 20 and 10 at the power forward spot. And they put all the blame on him, but don't blame the guards. And you know what I'm saying? But when the guards win, I mean, when team wins, people rush straight to give guards all the credit. Y'all know y'all love Steph Curry. Worldwide Knicks won. Yo, bro, you been on your grind, young Freezy. Hey, man. Yeah, man, this is what we do. This is what we do. We grow in a family. This is the reason why we here. We grow in the MBK fam, right? We grow in the MBK fam, and we want everybody to be a part. So we doing a website so that we can do articles. I'm working on some articles now. I have them more up here than I do in here. So we trying to grow all the channels. Me trying to grow Lawrence Tears, trying to grow Nothing But Knicks, trying to grow Die Hard Knicks podcast, Legion of Knicks podcast, Cooking with Chef Zay, Andy N, Nickish, a whole bunch of. So we trying to grow all these things. We're like the Sim likes to say, we're like the Wu-Tang Clan of Knicks content creation. You know what I mean? And so I try to catch all of y'all and you know, whisper something in y'all ear, basically saying like, listen, man, this is the place where we want y'all to come. You know what I'm saying? In terms of Knicks fan, we don't want some dude in Seattle that has never been to New York to give y'all Knicks content creation. We want people that's invested in the Knicks to do like the New York's content creation, because we give you like not the bird's eye view, but the in-depth view. Hey, Kaiser Sose says, I agree. I just don't want to build with Randle. I'd rather build with guys we draft. Okay. I feel you. I feel you. And it's because of the homegrown talent factor. It just seems as if guys that we draft are more invested in the long-term stability of the organization, whereas signing free agents, you know, they basically worked somewhere else and took the bag to come here. I feel you. I feel you on that. Hey, so how do I become a contributor on the channel? Hey, bro, hit me up. Let me ask. Hey, so the thing with me is I'm welcoming, but I'm also real, right? Like, listen, if you want to come on and do your thing, and you say like if you want to come on a video chat right now, I'll put the link in there for you to come on and sit with me right now. You know what I'm saying? If it's one of those deals where you just feel like you want to maybe write some articles and that stuff, I'll send you. You just hit me up on Twitter. DM me on Twitter. Trust me, I answer. I can't help it. I'm addicted to responding to people, and you can just ask the people that submit comments to these videos and stuff. I answer and respond because when I say I genuinely want to grow, keep the conversation going, and want to grow the conversation, I mean it. Yeah, I don't have enough hours in my life to puff smoke, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, or shoot people to gas. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? But if you legit want to come on and help join the family and contribute and stuff, hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Big Freezy on Twitter. You can DM me, and we'll chop it up about how you want to contribute, ways that I can help you improve, ways that you can help me improve. And we'll go from there. The Lawrence Tiers setting is a family, a Knicks family, man. So if you want to, however you want to contribute, if you want to get in the video chat, come on. And I'm talking about right now. If it's something, if you're a writer, hit me up on Twitter, like DM me, and then what we'll do is we'll exchange some information, so that I can send you formats and all that stuff, like the format that we're looking to stay within, and then you can send your stuff, and then we'll shoot it on over so that we can get stuff done. When we say we legit want to grow this thing, man, I'm serious. I don't know if we're going to be Knicks Film School or anybody fancy like that, but you know what? But we'll be in a situation where we want to get everybody to contribute and give people credit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking to take your stuff and put it out there and say some random guy said, no. It'll be like, art title done by Kevin Wright, and then put your thing out there. But and this is for everybody, not just one. This is for everybody. You got to be sharp though. In terms of the website and stuff, we prefer like to put the sharpest, most poignant, accurate, and timely stuff out there. I hope that answered your question, Kevin. Mike has been around the game for decades. Mike, James Dolan probably got into basketball after Jeff left, and since then the team has never performed up. Yeah, I can dig it. But let me go back to this though. James Dolan is not a slouch. He's a slouch in terms of winning championships in basketball, but in terms of running the business, you can't dispute the fact that the Knicks are a successful business, right? Other teams may even look to model their organizations after the way the Knicks conduct business. Now, in terms of personalities and the PR stuff, maybe that can improve. But in terms of business, the Knicks are the most valuable franchise in the NBA. G said, "Hey, talk that ish, Big Freezy. Hey, man. Hey, I'm trying to go. No lie. I told Chef Isaiah was busting my head open about something about the Giants, and he kept saying, Big Freezy. And I was like, Isaiah, man, I lost like 160 something pounds. Call me Uncle Freezy. I mean, look, I got the flabby skin and all that to prove it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, when you lose, like, I legit lost an 11th grader off my body just by getting in the gym and eating right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, where's that vegan at? Where's Grandmaster Vegan? Grandmaster Vegan can attest. Hey, man, changing your diet is tough, especially if you're going from a conventional diet to something new. Bro, I'm here to tell you, hey, man, it is not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But anyway, I'm moving on. Yeah, hey, every jersey is cotton, but the Knicks jersey is lead. I heard CP from Knicks Fan TV say that. And you know what? And he's right. And the reason why it is not because of 3 or 4 factors. It's like 12 or 13 reasons why the Knicks jersey is heavy. You know what I mean? Starting with the Knicks fan base. I mean, the Knicks haven't won a championship in 50 years almost. For one. 2, the media is like, the New York media is like a churning pool of baby sharks, and Knicks players are blood in the water. And you can extract as many narratives as you want for the Knicks jersey being heavy. It's not even just what I said. It's way more. George Alvernia says, "Yep, I went keto and lost 160 pounds. Big Freezy, salute my man with the dedication." Hey, you know what? And it's not just the keto though. It's not just the keto. It's, man, all the other things that go into it, man. Cardio, bro. I'm telling you, cardio. I'm telling you. So the Knicks Morning Drive is not about Uncle Freezy weight loss. It's about the Knicks. But I will tell you this. Hey, when you start out where I started out, like day one when I started out, I got on the treadmill and I was so out of breath. It was ridiculous. And I won't lie to you. Since the quarantine, I probably packed on some weight. Since the quarantine, you know what I'm saying? I packed on some weight since then, man. You know, but the thing about it is I have this weird stick-to-itiveness that other people don't necessarily have, and sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's what drives people like me to do 2 Knicks shows in one day. You know what I'm saying? A 4-hour marathon that ends at 4:00 in the morning, and then get like an eyelash full of sleep, and then get back up at 8:00 to do it all again. You know what I'm saying? So I guess Knicks Morning Drive is accurate, because you have to have some drive to do this. If Golden State is the benchmark and not comparing the particular players, but the way the teams were built from the inside out and development. I think Golden State also had some fortunate breaks go their way. I'm a fan of how they built their dynasty. Unfortunately, I think their dynasty is over. I think they're going to have to start all over. And I know they don't want to. I know they want to invest and make another run. But at this point, I think that dynasty as constructed is over, and I think they know it. And so I think they're going to start adding young pieces the next few years. I think they're going to keep that Minnesota pick next year and look to maybe add a Cade Cunningham, and then you'll see them transition from Stephen Clay to Cade Cunningham and James Wiseman. We the most valuable franchise or valued franchise, and we have not won in 50 years. Dolan tried to hire the right personnel from management to coaches to players. He have just not hit on one yet. Yep. I think that's real talk. I think that's real life right there. Yep. That's his. We don't stick to a direction. We often switch with the critics. Yep. I agree. Paris Duggar in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Um, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I think the fact that we often change directions kind of highlights how we change captains mid-ship too much or mid-voyage too much. Did y'all get what I was saying about that? I think on our journey, I think we change captains too much, and that forces us to change directions and personnel. Steven Okongwo says, "Freezer, you a trooper." Hey man, I'm not patting myself on the back or giving myself credit. Y'all have no idea how excited I am to see y'all. Like when I legit come in here and I see all these, when I see the virtual chat buzzing, hey man, I get hyped and excited. And the comparison I use is like, if y'all remember what it was like, say as a fourth grader, you know what I'm saying? You hang out with your boys all year, and then in fifth grade, you know, you get split up amongst the classes. You're like, oh man, what class you got on your schedule? Oh, you taking her this time or whatever, right? And then when it's time to go to lunch and all y'all meet up in the cafeteria, that is the feeling that it's like. Like legit, go away for a little bit, do some work, come back, and all your homeboys is back together. You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling I get. That's the feeling I get when I see y'all. So it's like, you know, I don't come in here, I don't stay hyped 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Knicks fan, but when I come in here, I get excited to see everybody. You know what I mean? So Blorens says, wow, you blew past 500 mark and you're already up to 437 subscribers. The community is blowing up. Yep. Golden State will still be a top team in the West, no lower than fourth with a healthy Steph plus Wiggins and Oubre helping with the scoring. I think so, but I'm talking about in terms of being the odds-on favorite to be the champion. I don't see them. I think their dynasty is over. I don't see them making the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. Kenyon M is in the building. What's good? What's good? Steven Perez is in the building. What's good? Salute. What's good? So I'm asking the chat, what would it take for the Knicks to become NBA champion? Thank you. What does it take for the Knicks to be NBA champion? I love this chat, man. Everybody in the chat speaking to each other, man. It's all love. I love this chat, man. The chat is legit, like, you know what I'm saying, dapping everybody up when they come in. Everybody, you know what I'm saying what's up. Well, you know what I'm saying? All these different, man. The chat is fire. Players and coaches cannot excel looking over their shoulders. There are two players who will prove my point if allowed to play, Frank and Knox. We'll see. I'm not saying your point is bad, but I used to walk in a party back in the day. I used to walk in a party, man, and the DJ used to play this joint called by Sunshine Anderson called "Heard It All Before." Every time I hear the narrative about Frank Ntilikina, Sunshine Anderson comes in my head. Heard it all before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking Frank. I just need to see something. Right? You want to make me a believer? Show me. Don't tell me about it. Show me. Thibodeau, I think, will coach and teach for 5 years and hand the reins over to Johnny Bryant, who will have fully developed Obi, RJ, Knox, and win a championship. That is an interesting take. We need 3 or 4 of our drafted players to meet their potential. I didn't really want to get into this one. Decius Thomas. I didn't want to get into this one because I understand your point, but let's go. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So we need 3 or 4 of our own of our drafted guys to meet their potential. First of all, we need to identify who those 3 or 4 players are. So who are these 3 or 4 players? Secondly, we have to see if we have 3 or 4 players, are these guys? Hopefully, these guys won't be all playing the same position. So let's say 3 or 4. Let's say 4. Are all 4 of these guys playing different positions? Right? Now, with that said, what is their potential? Like legit, what is their potential? Is RJ Barrett an eventual 30-point per game scorer? Just a question. What about Obi? Is Obi a 30-point per game scorer? Now, even with that said, who's our lockdown guy? The 4 out of 4 guys, do we have a lockdown defender or 2? Hey, Russell McCall, I'm gonna get to that. I'm getting to that. And now that you've asked those questions, the 4 players, what's their potential? What are their ceilings? Right? What are their ceilings? All-star, Hall of Famer, high caliber starter, reserve guy. All right, and with those 4 guys, now that you've understood who they are, what about the coaching staff? Do you have a championship level coach, head coach? And now that you have the championship level head coach, does the system he run present itself to have players that are available in that system? Say for instance, and Golden State had the Hampton 5, which included Andre Iguodala, right? Say the Knicks have a system on defense or on offense and defense called Spiderweb. I'm just making something up, just Spiderweb, right? Can you find plug and play guys into Spiderweb? Can you find guys off the street that can contribute to Spiderweb easily? And I'm just using Spiderweb as some hypothetical or some name for some hypothetical system that we'd run to get that could get us to a championship, right? And so I'm asking because I'm a New Jersey Devils fan, and when we were winning championships, we ran the neutral zone trap, right? But we could backfill the roster with guys that could play the neutral zone trap, right? You know, because a lot of years we depended on Scott Niedermeyer and Scott Stevens. One of them, and Scott Stevens. It's so long ago. Y'all forget. My brain get wishy-washy sometimes. But we had Scott Stevens and Martin Brodeur. But we could backfill the roster and still be competitive. Can the Knicks do that with their 3 or 4 guys that develop and meet their potential? Are we on the way? Hey, somebody named Jack D just entered the chat. Jack D said Mitch, RJ, and Obi can be perennial all-stars, but need to work. Hey, I agree. Hey, Jack D, if you knew, throw a thumbs up in the chat so people can welcome you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pointing you out for, not just pointing you out, man. I'm just want to let everybody know if somebody new came in. We just want to say welcome. We just want to welcome you, man, to the joint, man. And you know what I'm saying? Just say what's up. And hope you subscribe to the channel and come back. Hey, y'all, welcome Jack D to the chat. Or to the live stream, everybody. So Jack D, we this live stream, the thing on Blowing Cheers, man, is we try to create like this atmosphere of belonging for Knicks fans. This is a safe place for us to come and argue about stuff, have our voices be heard. This is the place where like, unlike other places where, say, a host will let you talk for 20 seconds and then hang up on you and chop your point to bits. It's funny for some, but for us, we want to have our voices be heard. You know what I'm saying? We want to legit let everybody come in and have their say be heard. Oh, you subscribed the other day? Okay. All right. So you part of, oh, well, let me do this then. Jack D is in the building. What's good? Yeah. Hey, and Jack D, we don't just do that for subs. We do that because it's like when the family get back together, we just shout each other out. That's what it is. We don't sell out for subs. We just welcome people, man. We glad this community is growing. We got to keep letting the best man play. We got to make the young guys sink or swim. Paris Tucker, I think I kind of agree, and I kind of don't. I think the personalities are so diverse that some of the guys that you let sink may be long-term contributors, but can't figure it out right away. I think some of them need an incubation period. Like Frank Ntilikina needs an incubation period, right? Like Frank may need 4 or 5 years, but eventually his next 7, 8, 9, 10 years will be high quality. And I know I troll the Knicks fans about Frank Ntilikina, because what they want to tell me is that Frank is every year, and when I say every year, I mean every year. Every year, Knicks fans tell me that Frank is going to break out and be somebody, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I troll him. I tell him Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Otis Thorpe, and I know it's like a rock in their shoe when they hear me say it. So, hey, so what do y'all think about this Knicks Morning Drive thing? Y'all like this setting? Y'all like this atmosphere? Y'all like this? This is something y'all can groove with? Oh, Chuck Allen is in the building. Chuck Allen was good. What's good, man? I hadn't seen Chuck Allen's name scroll across stuff in wow. Infinite Anathesis. What's good? What's good with you? Oh my, look who stepped in the room. Jeremy Nussbaum was good. What's good? Yeah, hey, D Chan, what's good, D Chan? D Chan is in the building. Salute to the chat. Hey, chat, look, I want y'all to notice this. Look, chat, look. For some of y'all don't even know what that means. Y'all like, why Uncle Freezy showing his scalp to us? They're like, yo, Uncle Freezy keeps showing us his scalp. He keep doing like this. Why we want to see the top Uncle Freezy head? No, that ain't it, man. I'm tipping the cap. Oh boy. Hey, E Bizzle, what's good? Hey, do you think we will ever see Mitchell Robinson start to even attempt 3-pointers this season? Yes. I think you see both. I think you see both in game one. I think you legit see both on December 22nd. Travis A says ball, ball, ball. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, some things are just a part of life, brother. It's hold on. You said go to your last comment? Okay. I don't know about that. Frank, 12 points, 8 assists. Mitchell Robinson, 15 points. Hey, man. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. Strong Hood was good. Infinite Anthesis says, what do you think about Miles Powell? We talked about Miles Powell briefly in the beginning. I'm not for sure. The thing about Miles Powell is I'm not for sure. And I know y'all come here for expert analysis. The reason why we do this show though is that everybody can contribute. So if you get expert analysis, it may be from somebody in the chat, and maybe from myself. It's one of those deals where I'm not gonna lie to you and say I have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for SNY or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I have the inside scoop on stuff. I'm just a cat. I'm just a regular dude. Like y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a guy like y'all. So I look at stuff and you know what I'm saying, and try to formulate an opinion. A lot of times though, it's based off of just what I see from the media. So you talking about year 2 or 3? You mean going forward in 2 or 3 years? That's them. I think what you said about RJ is attainable. Frank Ntilikina, I don't see as a double-digit scorer unless he gets in his bag. Mitchell Robinson, I don't see as a double-digit scorer unless he takes more attempts. Miles looks like a mix of James Harden and Nate Robinson. Excuse that. I'm sorry. That's a hell of a mix. That's yeah. That's like a mix of TNT and matches. Yeah, I'm not for sure, man. Let's see how Miles does in camp. How about that? How about let's see how Miles does in camp, and then we can make a decision from there. Alan Bradley says Thibodeau should have recruited Larry Johnson to work with Mitch, Knox, and Obi on their low post moves. Hey, I think Kenny Payne. I think Kenny Payne will be all right. And I know we talked about him briefly yesterday, right? But I legit think we'll see. How about that? The thing with Kenny Payne is I think he's going to make these guys better, but we don't know what he's going to add to their offensive weaponry to make them better finishers at the basket, and what he does with them defensively to make them more proficient on defensive rotations and things of that sort. Where can we watch the first two Knicks Pistons games? It's not being played on MSG. Detroit and Toronto never do. I'm not for sure. I'll leave that to the chat. I'm in South Carolina, so the way I view games will be different. I have to buy the NBA package and all that stuff. But I'll find it. Trust me, I'll find it. And when I do, see, I'm planning on doing this every day. So when I do find out where they'll be, I'll put it out there to let y'all know which what I'm watching. That way, if you can't catch it in your area, you can maybe look to catch it in my area. Hey, so G says Miles is a walking buck. Oh, I keep forgetting. Two things I keep forgetting, y'all. I keep forgetting to put y'all comments up here, and I keep forgetting to look in the camera. My bad on both. Yeah. MSG shit, man, look, that should be a given, right? Especially after being down 9 months. I know you're addressing Jay, but addressing Jay Nussbaum, but what I'm saying is as far as Frank goes, man, I just want Frank to be a better floor general, man. That's what I want for all of our point guards, for them to be better floor generals. I want us to stay in consistent offense. I want us to be able to get out on the floor and run and get easy buckets. I want us to execute better out of timeouts, and things of that sort. So the point guard numbers I don't care if the point guard averages 30, 10, and 10 or 10, 5, and 5, as long as we're getting consistently good looks on offense, right? That's what I want. So looking interested means more than looking into the camera. Hey man, I saw you. And I bring up the Michael K show a lot, right? So I'm not a huge fan of the Michael K show. I'm not saying that they do bad work. I just don't look for them, right? You know, if I see them, I see them. If I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? But with that said, the older guy with the slick back hair looks like he's going to blow a gasket after Michael K says something every time Michael K says something, right? So it's funny to me. I watch him just because of that. So I can understand about your thing about looking interested, or at least looking interesting. Yeah, hey, E Bizzle says, yeah, I agree with you, Uncle Freezy. I will be happy if Frank keeps his dribble going like he did the second half before the end of the last year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Keep us in good offense. Stop dribbling past half court and passing to Julius Randle and hiding in the corner. It's ridiculous. Just checking. I keep checking the wire. I keep checking the wire just in case something Knicks related comes across. So that's the reason why y'all constantly seeing me check my phone. It's just one of those deals. Not that I want to break news, but just want to be aware. Stephen Fox says, yeah, agree. Love for the kid to be successful. I've been saying I can see him being our homegrown Fred VanVleet. I can kind of agree. Hey, y'all, let me do something real quick. I got to take a commercial break, aka I got to use the restroom. I'll be back in a few seconds. All right, we back. Sorry, sorry about that. Y'all been drinking water and sipping on this coffee, and it just sent me to the well, y'all know how I go. So it's Knicks Morning Drive, but want to talk to y'all about this. Any of y'all interested? Oh, look at that King of Queens in the building. What's good? I see you, King of Queens. Hey, so I was gonna ask y'all if anybody was interested in coming into the video chat. My only thing though is y'all know I'm destined to protect this thing with my life. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want people to come on selling porn or life insurance. You know, you know what I'm saying? I think it'd be cool for somebody to come on and do like the just sit in and get a feel for how this thing goes. and see how. And so at night on the Knicks at Night podcast that we do, we have a few people come on and they love it. Once they get here, they feel like they feel like they're more involved in the conversation, even though they may not be, even though when you're in the video, and I'll say that not disparaging the video chat part, but if you're in a virtual chat, you're just as important to the show as those that are seen on the big screen. So looking at some. All right, there we go. I'm going to throw this thing out here. And if you want to come on, if you prepared to come on or whatever, if you want to, that's cool. If not, we're going to keep rocking and rolling as is. Hey, okay. So Kevin Wright said he'll jump on. And G said, I would come on, but you don't want to see my morning face. Hey, man. Hey, I'll say this. It can't be worse than this right here. So I'm gonna stay on probably. At the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna call it just because I want to kind of do production stuff. Like I just want to see how it goes or whatever. So we probably got like about 25 minutes or so. So if you want to jump on and be a part, yeah, that's cool. Hey, so Stephen Perez says we need a trade soon. This roster is jammed. Chat, what you think? Who can we get? I don't know if we need anybody. I don't think we need anybody. God of Moses and Elijah. Hey, so God of Moses and Elijah is gonna be driving the bus tonight. Him and Teddy. I'm just gonna set everything up, and I'm just gonna be jumping in and out of the chat. Y'all support my man God of Moses and Elijah. Real good dude, has a lot of good points. He will definitely stir the conversation. Definitely stirred the conversation. I give him credit for that. Make sure y'all support my man. He's going to be driving the bus for the Knicks at Night podcast for tonight. I think the next couple of nights, my work schedule is tough. So I think I'm going to have to work like a weird shift the next couple of nights. Hopefully it's just a couple of nights, but we'll see. Jam can't matters. We need a healthy competition for spots. Yeah. And speaking of healthy, I think the fact that we do have a roster full of guys that we think can play helps us in terms of injuries, because what we hadn't taken into account is the injury factor. Right? We have to take into the account the injury factor. It happens. Y'all know it's inevitable. Somebody's going to get hurt, right? We just want to make sure we have enough depth to sustain a healthy run at the playoffs, and endure injuries and such. Yeah, look who it is.
Huh.
Kevin Wright, what's good?
What's going on, Uncle Freezer? I don't know.
Hey, man. Hey, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. We can hear you. Hey, it's pretty good. So it's your first time being on something like this?
Yes.
All right. So look, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna take our time, man. All right. All right. Hey, so E Bizzle says, not gonna lie, but Cade Cunningham is looking great in college. It's still early, but my projection is that boy is gonna be in the top 3. E Bizzle, I'm here to tell you, I think Cade Cunningham is gonna be in the top 1. And I know that's like some weird way to put it, right? I think Cade Cunningham is the top guy. If we get Cade Cunningham, I'm telling you, this kid is 25 and 5 out the gate. This kid is 25 and 5 out the gate. So what do you think about that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I have a notion about it. And this is my whole stance. I've seen Cade Cunningham play. I mean, the kid got game, and I'm not saying that he doesn't, but this is my whole stance. I cannot. My mentality, and even though I've been saying this for the last 20 years, my mentality is my Knicks are going to make the playoffs every year. And I've been a little bit delusional from time to time. When we had Eddie Curry and Zach Randle, I was like, "Ooh, this is a 4 seed right here, right? This is the next Twin Towers." So that's. But then we get 30 games in the season. It's like, you know what? All right, but it's going to take me that long to get into. And I guess because I look at this roster and I look at this team and I say they have so much potential and so much raw talent that you need an artist like a Tom Thibodeau to mold it. And if anyone can get the best out of this lump of clay that is the Knicks roster, is Tom Thibodeau. And so I want to give it a chance. Like, case in point, I'm a New York Jets fan also.
You're a glutton for punishment.
I am. It's been a rough life. I don't even want to bring up the Mets, but at least with the Mets, we have a new owner, and there's light there.
You're a glutton for punishment. Okay. All right.
But I'll use the Jets for an example. We were 0 whatever at the point when I was like, okay, it's over. Now I'm going to look and see what's going on. But up until we got to that point, it's like, you know what? Let's see what we got with what we have and then go from there. With the Jets, is like they didn't have talent. But this Knicks, here's the thing about the Knicks. Between RJ, Obi, Knox, Frank, DSJ, nobody can say they don't have talent.
Right.
The talent issue has never been the issue with any of those players. It's, can they put it together?
Right.
And that, I think, is where Tom Thibodeau comes in. So I can't get into, we're gonna have a top 3 draft pick, because I don't know. I don't want us to have a top. I don't think anyone. It's hard being a fan saying I want my team to lose.
Right.
I can't. Granted, we've had 20 years of losing, but it's hard for me to go into a season where we haven't even played a scrimmage yet. I think we have our first scrimmages today, and say this is the roster that's going to have like a top 3 pick.
Right. Well, I kind of agree with you because so there's the optimism part. It's like how he's feeling springtime, like hope springs eternal, right? So it's that part of it where we make the moves on a roster and we feel as if every year we have just as good of a shot to make the playoffs as anybody else. We want to keep that in mind. That's the whole part of fandom is you feel like at the start of the season you have a shot to get there, even if it's not the overwhelming majority of the fan of your team thinks that way. You still want to feel like you at least have a shot to be competitive. If, say, for instance, we make a whole bunch of ifs and assumptions. If such and such goes this way, then we have a chance. Like, for instance, if RJ Barrett stays healthy this year, unlike last year, then we have a shot at RJ, but contributing to our team getting more wins.
Now, I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Uncle Freezy.
Right.
What is the difference between, and I hate comparing players, what's the difference between, let's say we run out Mitch, Obi, Knox, RJ, and probably Peyton. What's the difference between that starting five and the Indiana Pacers starting five? Because they'll probably have Miles Turner, and you can say Miles Turner is comparable to Mitch. You can say Obi Toppin athletically is better than Sabonis.
Yeah.
I went to NC State. And I love TJ Warren.
Right.
But why can't Kevin Knox be as good as TJ Warren? What has TJ Warren done?
I'm gonna say these two things about. For one, TJ Warren has this element of dog in him that we hadn't seen out of Knox. TJ Warren shows this element of I really, really want to win. I really want to win. I really want to win. And Kevin Knox has the mindset of I'm just athletically superior and more skilled than everybody else, but I won't show you the dog.
Let me counter that.
I compare Kevin Knox to Bambi. You remember Bambi at the beginning of the movie? You know what I'm saying? Couldn't hardly, you know what I'm saying, walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. That's where I think Knox is right now. But in terms of the Pacers, though, I don't think it's the roster that they throw out on the floor. I think it's their organization. Their organization is right.
Now, with that being said, and I hate this, take out the 2 years of Fizdale. Let's take out Fizdale, the Fizdale Mike Miller years, and let's look at moving forward with Tom Thibodeau, Johnny Bryant, Kenny Payne, Woody being back,
Mike Woodson.
Yeah, and the front office.
Yeah.
So let's look at what they, and granted, and it's a little bit unfair because they won't have the normal time in preseason and training camp that you would normally have. So what they're doing is on the fly. But let's look at that and say, with that organization in place, with what you have seen from them historically in their careers, why can't they put in place a game plan for these players to succeed?
Well, we don't know yet. For one, Mike Woodson.
We know the track record of coaching that these players have, that the coaches have.
Right.
Hold on one second.
Okay. So here's the thing to your point, Don. So here's the thing to Kevin's point. For one, let me say, Chuck B is in the building. What's good, Chuck?
I had to come in when he compared the Pacers roster to the Knicks.
Hey man. So I'm gonna say this. This is my point to what Kevin was saying, man. For one, Tom Thibodeau and Mike Woodson have a track record, but they've both been out of basketball, right? So they've both been out of the league already. Mike Woodson's been out the league a year, and Thibodeau has been out of the league for 2 years, I think, or something like that. It doesn't seem like a lot of time, but they have to get their feet wet again, right? So I just don't want to go by. I just don't want to go by the assumption that they're going to hit the ground running because of success in other places. I don't want to do that. I want to give them some time. Thibodeau and Mike Miller Thibodeau and Mike Woodson some time to get readjusted to live action on the floor. Kenny Payne has never been on the NBA sideline. Johnny Bryant has been on the sideline with the Utah Jazz, but in obscurity in Utah. And I know he visited a whole bunch of places and stuff, but this is the first time that Johnny Bryant has been put under the microscope, right? So I'm saying give them some time to gel. I'm sure that they all have smart minds or whatever, or they're all sharp, but we need to give them some time to adjust because they're all coming against a brand new coaching staff. In terms of the front office that's put together is new also. So I'm here to say what happens in December, January, and February, I'm saying don't overreact. You know what I mean? Just let them get their feet wet and try to implement a system going forward. So Chuck Allen, what's good?
Yo, what's good, gentlemen? How y'all doing this morning?
All right.
Good, man. Good. I'm saying these first few weeks, these first couple of months, we need to not expect Tom Thibodeau to be the sharpest dude in the league. You know, let's let him go through his reorientation into the league. Him, Mike Woodson, Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne is new. Johnny Bryant is not, but Yashimoto is new. Is an assistant. So let's just give them time to kind of work. What we don't want to do is say, look at our roster and expect them to work miracles right away. The deal with the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks, I think Sabonis is a beast. I think he's the classic old school power forward that wants to bang, and I don't blame him. And y'all watched him against us last season. And he was putting bodies on people, putting his body physical.
I think he get that from his daddy.
Yeah. He's physical, man. So in terms of the comp between the Pacers and the Knicks, I'm not ready to go there yet. I'm still comparing the Knicks to the Pistons.
Which Pistons?
This year's Pistons.
I might have missed something. This year's Pistons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, let's talk about Miles Turner for a second. How do you compare him to Mitch?
I'm not comparing. Okay, so let's look at what Miles. Okay, first let's look at what Miles Turner is.
Better than Mitch, but go ahead.
Oh, he is. I'm not saying he's not. Here's my thing. I'm not the biggest Mitch fan.
Okay.
I think Mitch, and this my first time on the chat, and I'm already about to be killed for this. I think Mitch, like Frank, has gotten so much hype from the fans that it's gotten to a level of absurdity.
Facts.
And again, they own the Knicks, so they're my guys. I'm gonna rock with them, but I'm not going to blow them up like Frank's about the second coming of Gary Payton. No. That's not what that is.
Hey, you know what? How about Frank might be on the level with Gary Payton II?
That might be a little bit more acceptable, but
and I know Chuck loves Frank, right? But to me, Frank is a 6'4" Otis Thorpe. I know Frank. I know Chuck loves some Frank Ntilikina. But to me.
It's not Otis Thorpe no more. It's not Otis Thorpe. He's a 6'4" Roy Hibbert.
Wow.
It's Roy Hibbert now. Yeah, he upgraded. He's Roy Hibbert. But Miles Turner got a 3-ball for one. He's 34%. Mitch never shot a 3 in his life.
Not in the game. But if you look at his summer videos of him at the local gym with his homeboys, he looked like
those don't count. And Miles is even a better defender than Mitch.
Okay, well let's take this into account. Now, Mitch might be the biggest unknown going into this training camp. Like the biggest unknown.
No. He's known.
No, I say he's unknown because one, we don't know how Thibodeau is going to use Mitch.
No matter how they use Mitch, he only could do one thing. He's catching.
I agree with you. And
Yeah.
here's the thing. I have been on record as saying Mitch is. I don't see the difference between, other than maybe that 15-foot jump shot that can be had. I don't see the big difference between a young Camby and Mitch. The only thing is, Camby at least could step out 10, 15 foot and hit a little jumper.
That's
literally the only difference between a young Camby and Mitch.
Well, I gave
But
Mitch.
they look at Mitch like he's Patrick Ewing the second or something, coming in like the best center in the league.
Yeah,
and he's not.
Camby was a little high praise, so I gave him young Tyson Chandler.
It's like apples and oranges.
Well, because Camby shoot better than both of them.
Well, like I said, Camby had a little 15-foot jumper.
Yeah, and Mitch don't have that, so I gave him the Tyson Chandler.
That makes sense. Tyson Chandler straight out of high school. Mitch didn't go to college, didn't learn any fundamental basketball past high school, and then I don't even think his high school coach taught him anything. He's 7 foot. Just throw him the ball, let him do what he do. I agree with Kev that Mitch is the most unknown. Like, we don't know where he's going to fall just based on those comparisons. You know what I mean? Tyson Chandler or Marcus Camby or DeAndre Jordan, or is he going to turn into an AD type player?
No.
Where they unlock his offensive side?
No.
Because defensively, he's there for a guy who doesn't have that much experience. You know, how many guys in the league block a layup, fall down, get up, then block the three? Can't teach that.
I think sometimes you can be a prisoner of the moment sometimes.
Okay.
And you see this raw athleticism that a player has, and you fall in love with it. But then you have to step back and be like, okay, let me look at the whole picture of what this is. Let me not get caught up in the hype of this play that I just saw.
Okay.
And we, as all fans, do that sometimes. To where we look at something that just happened and like, oh, well, this is who he is. And it's like, okay, no, he made a good play. But in a whole, he already has 4 fouls in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
I have to take him out a little bit. He doesn't have good positioning at all for a big man. A lot of his defensive ability just comes off just talent, whereas nothing that's taught that he's just a better athlete than a lot of people.
Right.
But you can't make a career out of that. That's not something. I think that's something that Noel, because when Noel was young in Philadelphia, he kind of was the same thing. But I think him going other places and learning, okay, I need to learn how to play this position. I need to learn defensive posturing and defensive assignments and where to be and how to maneuver and how to set picks and how I have to learn that. And that's where Mitch, I don't think through any fault of his own. I mean, granted, he did have Fizdale.
Let me shout out my man real quick. Jermaine Royster, what's good? Jermaine Royster is in the building. And everybody, and for people in the chat, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like these videos, these live streams, man. We have, we try to present the best product we can to you. We got our in-house celebrity Chuck B in the building. Glad to have Chuck on with us. We got two new people to the video chat. Kevin Wright and Chuck Allen. Glad to have them on. Just want to say thanks to everybody for getting up with us this morning. We're just trying something new. This Knicks Morning Drive. We're trying to trying to provide Knicks content to everybody. This putting this thing out in the morning and at night. So thanks for everybody for checking us out. Secondly, man, this whole Mitch thing is crazy. I think that I don't think you can find a Mitchell Robinson anywhere, but I do believe that Mitch's talent in terms of his reputation is overblown. Like I don't believe he's a good defender one-on-one, right? I think he's probably about below average. But if you've seen Mitch in pictures recently, Mitch is bulked up, so maybe he can improve there with footwork and strength, right? The fact that he can run and is a great athlete, maybe top 5 athlete at his position, is a plus for us. That just gives us something to work with. But at the same time, I'm not ready to call him Wilt Chamberlain, right? But if you have to have something to work with, I prefer Mitchell Robinson's profile versus, say, a Jahlil Okafor or somebody like that. That's at the opposite end of the spectrum.
I disagree with that. For one, most Mitch blocks or weak side help and jump shooters, he rarely block his man's shot. So his defense in the paint is not good.
Right.
And that's where most of the overrating comes from. Okafor could get you buckets. It's just that we so used to the big man shooting jump shots now. You always need a post presence. That's why if Randle get traded, we gonna miss them points in the paint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's got without dunking. You know what I'm saying? You can't count Mitch's 9 points on all dunks. And I don't believe Obi's gonna be able to dominate in the paint with his weak base. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him being a back to the basket, post up scorer. I see him facing up and trying to get by you off the dribble. And getting points like Mitch.
You better move your last ass out of my way.
She already got paperwork.
Okay. I thought he was getting in trouble. But yeah,
good.
Yeah, I don't like. We overrate everybody for one. Anytime somebody put the jersey on, they get overrated out the bat. We expect RJ to be Wade. Then I saw some people saying Mitch 15 and 10. Mitch is not a 15 and 10 guy.
Right.
They were saying Frank 10 and 6. Frank is not 12 and 6. Somebody said yesterday. Frank is not 12.
Somebody said that this morning.
That's never going to happen. He's never going to average 12 points in the NBA, and he's not going to average 6 assists.
You know, even in France, he was, I think his high in France was 9.
Well, his career average in France was 5 and 3.
5 and 3. The same thing he did with the Knicks.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So he is who he is. Like, I don't blame Fizdale on what you're getting from Frank. I blame the lack of talent in Frank. And Frank needing help to get his. Frank needing to pick to do anything.
The thing with Frank Ntilikina is, and I know Chuck
I'm telling you the thing with him. He can't create his own.
I'm telling you, he's a 6'4" Otis Thorpe. Why are we even talking about Frank at point guard?
I ain't talking about him at point guard. I'm talking about him, period.
I would at least say Ron Harper.
No, he's not Ron Harper.
No.
Ron Harper was athletic.
Yeah.
Well, Frank is an athlete. Frank is athletic. Frank he's a victim of his own, I don't even say his own circumstances. He's a victim of being a fan favorite. And I don't think that's any fault of his own because Frank is what he is. But everybody else builds Frank up.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's not his fault. I think he's a hard worker. I think he's competitive. I think he has a role. But it's the fans who need to step back and be like, okay, this is who this person is. Case in point, I am, of all the chats I'm in, of all the Facebook groups I'm in, I'm probably the biggest Kevin Knox supporter you will meet. And the difference between
condolences, go ahead.
the difference between Knox and Frank is you've seen Knox do things on a basketball court. So it's not far-fetched that if he just was consistent enough, he could put it together. Because you've seen him have 30-point games against the top defensive team in Milwaukee. You've seen him slam over Ben Simmons. You've seen him have 15 rebound night games. You've seen him do all these things to know like it's in him to do it. To whereas Frank is, we haven't seen anything that the fans want us to see.
True.
For him to do.
True. I might have to challenge you on that 15 rebound thing.
Oh, he had a 15 rebound game. I don't know what game it was.
I might have to challenge you on that. But
I don't know what game it was.
The best of Knox is still going to get you a spot up shooter though. His floater is terrible. So the best I can hope from Knox is be a more consistent spot up shooter.
You think that's all he's going to be is a spot up shooter?
Yes. I don't see him putting the ball on the floor and going by nobody. No, I don't see none of that in this game. I just see him as a spot up shooter. And that
ain't.
You've seen, but his thing, you've seen Knox do these things.
You saw him. I ain't see that.
So you've never seen. You saying you've never seen Knox put the ball on the floor and go by somebody. You've never seen that.
Maybe if somebody ran at him and jumped in the air first, so he put it on. But I never saw Knox put the ball on the floor and no. I really think if he tried to do a crossover, he might break his ankle.
Now, what's the difference? Hold on. Are you saying cross somebody over, or are you saying put the ball on the floor and get around somebody? Because those are two different things.
Put the ball on the floor and get around somebody without them being in the air already. I never seen him just go by somebody without them already committing to his jump shot.
Okay.
In other words, he don't have a handle to get by anybody. And he don't have a first step.
No, that's not true. That's definitely. I think his first step is underrated and undervalued.
You said his first step better than RJ?
Yeah.
RJ's slow too. RJ's is the shooting guard version of Frank as far as foot speed. They both
man.
I want you to go back. Here's the thing. I want you to go back to
with a high ankle sprain. So Chuck's saying my man with a high ankle sprain is that speed.
RJ is slow. He is slow.
Is not. How's he get to the basket, Chuck? If he's so high, he can get to the basket.
Power. He powers his way to the basket.
So now you say RJ is a 6'6" Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
RJ uses his angles well. Like if he had a consistent jumper, I would put him in the mold of like a Paul Pierce, but he don't got that. He don't got that wetness.
Exactly. So, when did anyone ever say Paul Pierce was an Olympic athlete?
No, he's not. But he's crafty. He's crafty. You know, like Luka don't beat you with speed. Luka's crafty, shifty. RJ is more power. RJ will put his body into you. RJ not trying to go by you. He trying to go through you. He has a physical game, and his game is like 100% physical. All his shots are contested. You don't see him going by nobody for easy layups. he always when he's finishing at the basket, his man is still right on his hip. He's going into it. He's drawing contact. That's why he stay at the line, because he's not leaving his man is right there with him.
So we talked about that last night. RJ Barrett gets to the basket as much as anybody in the league, and he converts at a field goal percentage of 57%. You would from 0 to 3 feet, right? So you would hope that would be higher. You know what I'm saying? You would hope that be in the low 70s from 0 to, because I think the league average is like 70 something percent. So RJ is below average at converting at the basket. And at the same time, he hadn't been converting free throws. You know what I'm saying? He started out the season converting at 40%. And then as the season went on, he started converting at a 75% clip, which at the same time didn't get his free throw percentage up out of the 60s, but he definitely got it out of the 40s and 50s. So you saw him get better during the course of the year at hitting free throws. The thing with RJ Barrett though is his game is his game, and he's good at it. So every shooting guard is not going to be made the same. Like I'm sure Bradley Beal wishes he had RJ Barrett's physical gifts, like height and length and stuff. But Bradley Beal gets the best out of his size in his game. And the same thing with other shooting guards like Devin Booker. They probably wish they had RJ's physicality, but they use other skills in order to be effective. So while I say that, I say this: every guard is not going to be the same. We just want RJ Barrett to be effective at what he does and improve the offense of the Knicks. In terms of Frank Ntilikina, to me, Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Ron Baker. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how tall Ron Baker is. I'm just saying I would trade Ron Baker for Frank Ntilikina right now. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people I know Chuck B love Frank. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that, but and in terms of Frank, I may or may not be trolling y'all right now. Hey, the thing with Mitch though is Mitchell Robinson to me presents something that we hadn't had in a long time at center.
Oh, somebody! I just want to pause. Somebody looked that up in the chat. So it was December 9th, 2018. Knox had 26 and 15.
I see it.
So
he did.
Yeah,
he did. I had it. I actually have it right here. I just didn't get a chance to say it to Chuck. He only did it one time.
What was the team?
It was against the Charlotte Hornets.
The Hornets. Okay.
15 rebounds is 15 rebounds.
I mean, if it was against the Rockets, I would have had something to say. But all right,
But like I said, you've seen with Knox. I put it like this, and I might get killed for this. I might not. Knox has shown a better offensive repertoire than RJ has. If you look at going back to his rookie season, I say just take out last season. Offensive repertoire, Knox can do more because Knox is a better shooter than RJ on a court. Because regardless of how bad he shot, and you said because and this is how you know it, regardless of the numbers, you have to respect Knox's shot. That's why he can get past people because they're up in the air because they've committed to his jump shot. So because of him being a better shooter, he can do more things offensively than like RJ has to truly commit on a whole pump fake for people to get in the air. Whereas Knox doesn't have to commit that hard on because people know Knox has a jump shot. Like he can shoot. And that is what I mean as I think Knox as a whole is a more complete offensive player than RJ is. It doesn't mean that Knox is a better. I don't know how to word this. It doesn't mean that Knox is better than RJ. I don't know how to word that either. but you see what I'm saying? You like Knox can do more.
No, I don't see what you say. I don't see what you're saying.
No. Can do more than what RJ can. He has more in his toolbox than RJ. That doesn't mean that he uses his tools better than RJ.
I understand what you're saying, being that Knox is a better shooter, so that creates more opportunity for him. because you got to play his jumper. So when he get by you, the problem is when he get by you, he sucks. Like,
well, that's what the added weight this offseason is. That's what he. I don't know how much weight he put on, but you can tell Knox is bigger.
If
you can tell,
I'm with George Alvernia. George Alvernia said this is blasphemy, and I agree. Kevin Knox shot 37% his rookie year from the field, and last year, the season past, shot 36%. So this notion that Knox is a better shooter scorer is not true. And then plus,
okay, how about this? Let's look at the volume.
He shot 34% from three 1 year, and this past year he shot 32 point. Basically 33% from three.
Okay,
but we say Knox is a better shooter scorer than RJ Barrett.
Let's look at the volume of shots. Because what have I said? Let's look at their rookie years. Knox's rookie year and RJ's rookie year. Well, Knox only played like one more game than RJ actually did. But they had this. I think RJ might have had one or two more 20-point games. They had the same amount of 15-plus point per games. I think Knox took more shots than RJ took, which is why the numbers are a little bit skewed.
You're right.
The volume of shots.
And Knox's rookie season, though, Kevin.
But look what Knox had in his rookie season compared to what RJ had his rookie season.
Hey, Knox had the keys in his rookie season. Knox played with cats named Noah Vonleh and Emmanuel Mudiay.
That's why the volume of shots was higher for Knox.
Right. But RJ played with Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, and some other guys that were options ahead of him. So while RJ may have gotten shots up, Kevin Knox had carte blanche to do whatever he wanted in his rookie season.
Well, I don't have the numbers pulled up, but I bet that Knox numbers in the paint were terrible. Was terrible. I didn't pull it up, but I just he can't finish.
I think Ben Simmons would disagree with you. I think Ben Simmons would disagree with you.
That was one play. It's only 2 points.
Hey.
You don't get a plus multiplier. You don't get a plus. It's not a video game. You don't get 5,000 points with dunking on Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
But I agree with you. The aggressiveness is there.
It's like I said, Knox has the tools. He just has to be able to know how to use the tools.
Right.
And that's up to him. And hopefully Kenny Payne being there will get that out of him.
Yeah.
And Knox said he wants to be pushed. He wants Tom Thibodeau to be. And like I said earlier in the chat, Rick Brunson, who coached with Tom Thibodeau in Chicago and Minnesota, worked specifically with Kevin Knox and Obi Toppin in Jersey over the summer. And there was an earlier article, it might have been on Instagram, to where Knox wanted to work with Rick Brunson to get that Thibodeau vibe from him. So Brunson can tell him, okay, Tom Thibodeau knows this is what he likes, this is what he likes. So you need to work on this, this, and this. Because like I'm telling you, this is what Tom Thibodeau is going to ask you to do.
Right.
Well, I hope you don't get too attached to Knox because he probably going to get traded.
I doubt that. Because if that was the case, Chris Paul would be a Knick right now.
How you link that to Knox?
Because when Houston asked for Knox, Leon Rose said no. And that's a fact. That's stated. The Knicks did not want to give up Kevin Knox in a trade.
Well, Leon Rose is a fool.
Now he's a fool. But before Leon Rose knows what he's doing,
I never said
office knows what he's doing.
I never said Leon Rose knows.
Y'all got Chuck Allen laughing at y'all, man. Hey, Chuck Allen, what you think about Knox?
I think Knox is untapped potential. It was stated before he was even drafted that he would need 3 to 4 years to find out what type of ball player he would be. From my understanding, Knox was a football player until his pops made him switch over and concentrate on basketball. And if that's the case, that kind of befuddles me. If he can't finish around the rim, he should be used to contact being a football player. But I think Knox still has a ceiling that needs to be reached. Is this the year we're going to see more than the spark that we saw in the first year? I'm hoping that it is. I have confidence in him, and I don't think any of the Kentucky people are going anywhere except maybe Julius Randle.
If they trade
why
Julius,
does Julius Randle have to go somewhere?
He doesn't. I think the young boy can come off the bench. Like, people keep forgetting that Charles Barkley came off the bench. He was behind Moses Malone and those guys. Kobe came off the bench. He was behind Eddie Jones before they was like, okay, all right, well, this kid is ready, and they traded Eddie Jones. Like, I don't have a problem with Obi Toppin coming off the bench. I don't have a problem with them keeping both of those guys. The Knicks need as much as we could possibly get. So we got a guy that's going to give us a double-double that's starting, and a young guy that could probably give us close to a double-double coming off the bench. I don't have a problem with that. They're under contract. No one else is signing here. So why not keep him? But the back channels are saying that they're trying to work deals to move people. So and he's always been the talk of the town as far as being traded, or someone who having the most value to be traded. I like Julius Randle, except when he does his spin move. Like, we know it's coming, and we know it's going to be a turnover, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I'm here to tell you that I think the coaching staff, if given time, can improve all players, including Julius Randle. Right. The thing I didn't like about Julius Randle is him shooting 46% from the floor. That's my only knock on Julius Randle. The turnovers are going to happen. It's just the way the turnovers look is what drive Knicks fans crazy. The fact that he does a spin move and kicks it out of bounds with his foot is what makes Knicks fans blow a gasket. The fact, go ahead, Kevin.
No, I'm saying at this point, it's not even a Knicks fan. Is Tom Thibodeau going to live? Is he going to live with those turnovers? Because Tom Thibodeau is going to be quick. He's going to be quick to give Julius Randle the hook as soon as that spin move comes.
We have to look at the reason why those turnovers exist. The reason why the turnovers exist by Julius Randle is because we have poor backcourt play, terrible backcourt play, and I'm not blaming all this on Frank Ntilikina. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is when the double teams come, nobody says a buzzword or something like that to alert Randle that the double team is coming. Nobody is saying disco, or bingo, or something, so Julius Randle can recognize a double team coming from his weak side so that he can get rid of the basketball sooner. Secondly, and more importantly, if we had a point guard with any floor generalship, if that's a word, probably not. But if we had a point guard that commanded the floor, they would see when the double team come, they would go get the ball from Julius Randle and be an outlet, so the double team would be ineffective, so that we can rotate the ball. It's one of the things where I'll give an example. When Kenny the Jet Smith was the point guard for the Houston Rockets, he was a scorer and a decent 3-point shooter, but he did not command the floor. He was a scorer. The Houston Rockets started winning championships when Sam Cassell got there. Sam Cassell would legit go get the ball from Olajuwon and be like, yo, double team coming, and get it out. And then when the double team leave, he would throw a re-entry pass back to Olajuwon, making the double team ineffective. Now, when you can't double team Olajuwon, when you know your man is on an island with Olajuwon can get into his bag. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the things that the Knicks don't do. Julius Randle gets double teamed or even triple teamed on the weak side, and no guard goes to get the ball, right? And now you forcing Julius Randle to dribble out of the double team and look for somebody to pass to. Why don't your guards go get the ball? We blame that on Julius. We blame a lot of stuff on Julius Randle, man. But basketball is a 5-man game, 5 men on offense and 5 men on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I saw Frank Ntilikina slam his hand down out of frustration because Julius Randle didn't find him when he was wide open on the weak side. Frank Ntilikina, who are you to slam your hands down because Julius Randle couldn't find you? You're the point guard. Go get the basketball. Why are you making a big man reverse pivot and pass the ball over traffic because nobody is guarding you in the corner? Nobody's guarding you in the corner because by the time they get the ball to you, the defense can recover. I mean, that's lame. That's the reason why I say Julius Randle gets a bad rap. You know, because some of this stuff is basic basketball stuff. You got a man getting double teamed, and you want him to throw a pass through 4 hands to somebody else on the other side of the court. How about come get the ball, man? Your guards are supposed to be the best ball handlers and the best passers on the floor. That's the reason why they're on the floor. We blame Julius Randle for everything. I mean, some of this stuff is legit. You can't blame it on your power forward.
I think it's a combination of things. You know, I don't think Julius Randle is getting, like, he's not making max money, but he's making enough money where people like, well, you're the man. What you going to do? But I think it also is the lack of coaching, because if you look how he was used in New Orleans, that was good coaching. They knew what spots to put him in and who to surround him around. We didn't necessarily have that, and then our guards don't shoot well. Like, I feel like if, let's say, Trey Burke was still there, that's somebody that you gotta respect from beyond the arc, because he can shoot it. And he would probably be the type to say, hey, man, give me the ball back. You give it back to Peyton, it's probably a turnover. Or at least a defensive rebound for the other team. Like, he doesn't put the ball in the hole well enough. And then, you know, Julius might have been feeling the pressure of the city. You know, well, I got to do a lot. I got to do the most. I'm the guy making $18 million, so let me go out here and put this thing on my back, and not trusting his guys. I think this year is going to be different because I believe in the coaching of Tom Thibodeau, and that's just based off of his previous works. No, we don't have that Chicago Bulls team, but what he was able to get out of the guys that he had was amazing.
Right.
Especially in the playoffs, like, to get what he got out of Joakim Noah with no Derrick Rose was nuts. So I'm looking forward to Julius having a more impactful season under good coaching. I'm expecting that from everyone, and I feel like if we don't see any improvement from the guys that we're looking to see improvement from, it might be time to move on.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just say this, man, to the Knicks fans that think Randle should come off the bench. I think y'all are Knicks fans that say Julius Randle should come off the bench. I don't know what to say to y'all. I mean, I legit don't. I mean, I like the fact that Obi Toppin is here, and I feel like he's going to be a great Knick for a long time, right? But to just say Julius Randle off the bench, I mean, Elfrid Payton is y'all point guard. Mitchell Robinson gives y'all nothing offensively, and defensively, he's a mystery, basically. He can block shots. Is he a good defender? Is he a good rebounder? No. Mitchell Robinson is in the 30th percentile of defensive rebounders in the NBA, right, for a center. I mean, come on. He's in the 30th percentile for a dude that we project as a starter. So basically, we're saying that Mitch is going to be 10-7. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Julius Randle averages 10 rebounds a game. Y'all want to send that to the bench for Obi Toppin, who in college did not rebound. I mean, come on, man. It's a lot of this stuff, man. We just think that this Knicks roster is a video game. It's not. You have to have cats like Julius Randle on the floor because Julius Randle presents a mismatch offensively. Defensively, can he do better? And sure, I'd love to see that. Right? But we want to send 20 and 10 to the bench. Who are we? Who are the Knicks to send 20 and 10 to the bench? We're like one of the worst teams in the league. You want to send your best player to the bench? I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe y'all somebody out there who says send send Julius Randle to the bench has a better argument than I have. I'm open to see it. But just sending him to the bench for the sake of sending him to the bench is ridiculous. And then plus, if we expect the coaching staff to improve everybody includes Julius Randle. Dude was 20 and 10 with Mike Miller. Mike Miller was a disaster. He was 20. I mean, and as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Mitchell Robinson was 22 and 10 with Mike Miller. He was 17 and 8. He was 17 and 8. Yeah, not Mitchell Robinson. I'm sorry. Julius Randle was 22 and 10 with Mike Miller, and he was 17 and 8 with Fizdale. So with a little increase in coaching acumen, he got better. And his statistics throughout his career say he gets better every year. You know what I mean? So if you bring in Tom Thibodeau, this kid may be 23 and 11, maybe 4 assists, maybe 5 assists. The kid gets better every year. And we want to send him to the bench because we just get tired of seeing the spin move.
We want to trade him. Actually, we don't even want to send him to the bench. We want him off the team.
A lot of it is if you want to get better, like when the whole Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and all these trades came up, is you have to have somebody that can at least come close to matching the salary. Like salary has to go back. And the only person with salary on the team was Julius Randle. And a lot of that got mixed into the fact that fans don't want him. He's the only one with a contract. So it's just logical that he's the one that just gets sent out. Which a little bit of that is true. Like if you want to upgrade, let's say you want to upgrade at the point guard. The only contract that you can send out, I think as of right now, as of today, the Knicks they still have like 16 to 18 million, depending on what they do at Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. So let's say Utah decides, okay, we want to get rid of Mike Conley Jr. Just throwing it out there. Now, in order to absorb that contract, you would have to include Julius Randle in it in order to bring back the contract of Michael Conley Jr. And it's scenarios like that, because like I said, I do think that sometime in this season, once Obi Toppin has some games under him, the front office will be like, okay, I think we can move on from Julius. I don't know at this point in time who they could get. I don't know if it is a Mike Conley Jr. or somebody like that. It could be Eric Bledsoe. It could be someone like that. But I think at some point they will move on from Julius.
So the thing is with moving on from Julius is this: why are we looking to get rid of a 25-year-old power forward that averages 20 and 10? You know what I mean? We legit should be looking at.
Real question is
upgrading the position. And I'll give you an example for your Mike Conley thing. For your Mike Conley scenario, you don't have to trade Julius Randle. You can trade Frank Ntilikina. You can trade Reggie Bullock. You can trade DSJ. You can trade Knox. All of those players are available as well. Because we have 18 million in cap space. Conley makes 31 million. We don't have to match salary dollar for dollar because we have cap space, right? So if we bring it,
you have to at least match up to that. What that would be 15 million,
right?
You have to match that 15 million from somewhere,
right? I have some names for you though: Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox, Reggie Bullock.
That's about 8-12. They probably all make about 4 million. So that's about 16 million altogether.
Frank makes 6.5. DSJ makes 5.5. Right. So what is that? That's 12 right there. And so you just have to be within 10% of the salary. So we have an inside source. Woodshed 1914 told us that he knows somebody that knows Mike Conley, and Mike Conley legit told them that he wasn't coming to New York. Like he wouldn't report if he was traded to the Knicks.
I don't think that's something he has the opportunity to do. I think he would have to do that under league rules, regardless of whether he wanted to be there or not.
He can just not report. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that Iguodala did with the Memphis Grizzlies. He just didn't show up. He was like, "I'm not coming."
Look, somebody said if they trade Frank, I'm going to the Nets.
Bye.
See you.
Hey man, that's funny. That's the
something you said earlier, Freezy, about letting a 20-10 guy go to the bench or getting rid of him. Do I have to remind you guys we let David Lee walk for nothing?
Yeah,
for nothing.
As I got the real question, like I said, is what can you get for a 25-year-old who averages 25 and 10? That's the real question. Well, because if he's producing 25 and 10, what can we get for him?
Why is he on the trade block? Why is he on the trade block if Julius Randle is giving you 22 and 10 under Thibodeau? Why is he on the trade block?
Because he's at a position that we don't need. Because let's just say we go through the season. Let's say this is February, and Obi Toppin proven to you he can legit be this player that you think he can be, that he is. I say he's putting up numbers. At that point,
right.
Julius Randle is just expendable. It's not the fact that we don't even want him. It's the fact that he's expendable. He plays at a position of a player that we just highly drafted. So it's not that we don't want him. It's what can we get for him because we don't need him because we have this other guy that we feel like can produce at a high level also.
So basically you're saying we didn't need to draft Obi.
I think Obi was a position that we couldn't pass up.
How? We needed a point guard for the longest time.
But here's the thing. Let's look at the draft board. As the point guards that are on the board, give us as much as this player here can.
We don't know that yet. But
if you feel like player X has more upside and more value than player Y, why are you forcing player Y?
We didn't need player Y.
No, but I'm saying if player Y is the point guard,
okay.
Why are you forcing it if you know that the power forward is going to have more upside?
Because we already have the power forward. We didn't need that position. Now that was our best
power forward for another year.
Why we can't resign him?
You could.
Yeah, right. But my point is the team's best position or best player was power forward. So why do you draft a power forward when you need a point guard? You
know what? If this was 36 years ago, I wish Portland would say, why wouldn't we draft this shooting guard when we already have one? And we see how that turned out for them.
Yeah, but the talent,
Yeah, but nobody knew that Jordan was going to be the greatest player to ever play, and it's not. And people like your example, right? For Portland, Portland didn't just have a shooting guard. They Jim Paxson was their shooting guard. He made the All-Star team the year before. The same year they drafted Clyde Drexler. So it's not that they had drafted Clyde Drexler and thought he was the future. Jim Paxson was already making the All-Star team. They had an All-Star. They had a multiple-time All-Star at the position and drafted Clyde Drexler, right? And so they had Clyde Drexler in the wings. And so you're saying, well, why would they draft Michael Jordan? And so the thing is, in theory, you would have an All-Star, a Hall of Famer, and then the GOAT all on one team. Now we know Michael Jordan is.
Hold on, you just said he didn't know that Jordan was going to be the GOAT. Which means you didn't know that Clyde Drexler was going to be a Hall of Famer either.
But let me finish my point. The point I'm getting at is they were already comfy with Jim Paxson making the All-Star team, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were also entering an era, the golden era of big men, right? So all these things you have to take into account. They were entering the golden era of big men, and so they wanted to draft a guy that they felt like would be in line with Olajuwon, David Robinson, Pat Ewing, all these guys that soon come down the pipeline of the golden era of big men. So the thing about Portland drafting, passing on Jordan is like not that they didn't respect Jordan's talent. They felt like they were making the best decision because they already had one position set and they were entering a golden era at another position and they wanted to be armed for that as well. They come to find what happens is Sam Bowie winds up being injury prone and not lives up to the promise. But if Sam Bowie was not injury prone and lived up to it, we would not be having this conversation about Michael Jordan in Portland anyway.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question.
You know what? Because and another thing too, the Houston Rockets already had Ralph Sampson, right? Well, yeah, nobody says anything about the Houston Rockets passing on Jordan.
That goes to my argument.
Oh, okay.
That right there. I'm saying that gives more credence to if you have somebody, and this is the best player you have on the board. You get the best player you have on the board. I'm not about to fit the third or fourth best player when I know the best player on the board is available. I will make it work somehow.
Well, this is a talent that I need to have. That y'all saying, we probably in the scenario that Tuck is saying is you knew point guard was the position of need. We've known that for 10 years already, right? And no disrespect to Ray Felton. Ray Felton, look, I'm trying to get you to come on the show. But anyway, so no disrespect to Ray Felton, but and other guys that play the position, but the position has been outdated. The last time the Knicks had a great point guard was Clyde Frazier. And so everybody's going to point to random names. Hey, Michael Ray played good for a year and a half. Mark Jackson looked good for a year and a half. Rod Strickland looked good coming off the bench for a year. All this. But we have legit not had a guy man a position for 5, 6, 7 years at a high level since Clyde Drexler.
Who at the time? I think he had Halliburton was on the board. Hayes was going, right? By 8. Hayes was going.
Yeah, Hayes went at 7. Yeah.
So really, you only had Halliburton. So it came down to Halliburton or Toppin. Odds are. So at that point in time is who has the most upside? Yeah, we need a point guard. But if you don't think that Tyrese Halliburton is going to max out like Obi Toppin is, you take Obi Toppin.
You didn't fill a hole though. You didn't have a hole there. You didn't have a hole at point guard. I mean, power forward.
So you are the kind of person that's going to draft for need rather than best player available.
Well, when I'm rebuilding a team and I'm starting from scratch and I need everything and I already have something, I'm trying to fill the holes that I have. I'm not trying to replace my best player when I'm trying to build a team from scratch. To me, that don't make sense. You're replacing your best player. Know what I'm saying? Right. I could see if the talent was like Obi was guaranteed to be that much better than Halliburton and Kara Lewis. But I just don't see the distance in it. Plus, they was trying to move up for him.
Yeah.
So that it shows you how much they valued Obi Toppin
At a position that they didn't need. I'm just saying it might be a mistake. Now, what's your option? To get rid of your best player because you drafted a player that plays his position.
Which goes back to what I said before. What can you get from a 25-year-old that's going to get you 20 and 10? If you can fill this hole,
it depends on the market. It depends on the market because
it does depend on the market, and sometimes in this position you might have to wait the market out till something becomes available. You know, options have already come off the market,
right?
But something will transpire.
But you know what you have in Randle already, right? You know you got a 20 and 10 guy that's a post threat. You don't know what Obi's going to be.
No, you don't. You don't know what any rookie is going to be. You have absolutely no idea what any rookie is ever going to be.
So you drafting somebody to replace you drafting an unknown to replace your best player.
But why would you draft a player? Let's say you have an idea. Like, okay, I really feel Obi Toppin is going to be this. I've had my Walt Perrin said Leon Rose, this kid right here is going to be something. Now, if there's anyone in the room I'm going to trust is Walt Perrin. So if I say, okay, Walt, what about Halliburton? Nice player, doesn't have the upside. Okay, Walt Perrin, what about Kira Lewis? Rotational backup player at best. Are you going to trust the experience of a top scout for the last 20 years? I'm pretty sure.
So Kevin, let me put a pin in that right quick. I just got to do this for the channel. So if y'all like what y'all hearing and y'all like debates like this, subscribe to the channel. And like the live streams. If you like the fact that Knicks fans can come on the show and just get at each other over a specific topic, if that's in your bag, just make sure y'all subscribe and like the live stream. The fact that the Knicks Morning Drive, we get on here and we can legit have conversations about these topics that matter. You know, just show that this channel, this right here, is designed for the fans to get it in. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel so that other Knicks fans around the world can see stuff like this and get the opportunity to contribute to the conversation as well. I think right now we're at like 500 something subs. We kind of want to grow that in order to make sure that we'll have a higher visibility so that others can come in and join the conversation. All right, Chuck Allen. After all of that stuff you heard, what do you think, man?
Okay. I don't see the harm. I wasn't sold on any of the 2 point guards that were still left on the board. That's number one. I was under the school of thought that the better point guards are coming in this upcoming draft. So I would have went with the best player available as well. Him coming off the bench or being another guy that your coach can use, I think it just makes more sense. And then also, he may not necessarily be replacing Julius Randle, because if I'm not mistaken, Julius Randle is still under contract for another year, at least a team option, right?
Yeah.
So you still got a guy that you can play, and that's going to get you 20 and 10, or a trade piece down the line. It doesn't hurt to have a full cupboard versus your cupboard being empty. And our cupboard has been empty for years.
Right. Right.
The last time we had two guys playing the same position that was comparable was Clarence Witherspoon and what was the other guy? Because they looked alike.
Yeah, I know. Clarence
Was it Weatherspoon and
and,
Witherspoon?
no, it was Weatherspoon and another. Not Harrington. I understand what you mean. But I would rather say Anthony Mason, Anthony Bonner, and Charles Oakley.
Okay.
I would rather use that example where you have like 3 quality guys playing the same position.
Here's the thing. I put this in the chat in the different Knicks chats, because everyone said, "Yo, we got to get these superstars. We got to build this team so superstars can come in." And I'm reminded of the 2004 Detroit Pistons.
Right.
No superstars per se. I mean, unless you want to say maybe Chauncey and Sheed.
Yeah.
But then again, they were all stars, except for Tayshaun Prince.
Right.
I don't think Tayshaun Prince was an all-star that year. I think if you can get good guys in, guys that can play, that know their role and play their position, we could be a competitive team, and then maybe one day we'll have enough to get over the hump. Guys don't want to come play here, man. New York. Let me tell you something. Outside of New York City, people don't like New York. They hate us with a passion. They don't care if it's the Knicks, Nets, Jets. It doesn't matter. You're from New York, you get the hate. As you can see with the media, no matter what moves we make, no matter what we do, we're somehow the butt of the joke. And I feel like with the pieces that we have,
hey, no pun intended, Jets fans, but y'all are the
I'm a
butt
Jets
of
fan.
the joke.
I'm a Jets fan too. I'm the worst of the worst. Jets, Knicks, Mets, Islanders.
Well, at least I like the Rangers, so hey.
But I like that we're trying to build a well-rounded roster. I think even the guys that we picked up weren't necessarily big names, but they were quality players, and they're the kind of players that New York fans will rally behind. Guys that are going to die for. That's why Frank got overrated or overappreciated. Let me say that.
Hey, so I got a dog on the loose. I'm gonna disappear for a second, but y'all keep it going. I'm coming right back. All right.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Because of those games where we saw certain things, we got hyped off of that small sample size. Like, oh, this guy's going to be this, and it never really turns out that way. I think this real competition, not that fizz nonsense that we heard last year, but real competition with some guys that are probably looking for a home.
Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people say real competition, is this? I look at it as this.
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, we're not going to make it too easy, but we're going to bring in these journeymen.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, RJ, Kevin, Frank, Mitch. Everybody other than Mitch are top 10 picks. Beat these vets. That's all you got to do. And it's not even like last year, I think was more competition for someone like Knox. So you had someone like Mook Morris come in.
Mm-hmm.
That was more competition for Knox than Reggie Bullock is.
Okay.
So when people say competition, it's like, no. Basically, we are trying to hand you these positions. That's all we are trying to hand it to you. All you got to do is step up and take it.
I can see where you're coming from. Okay.
We have people who are competent. They can probably fill in for a couple games, but Reggie Bullock is not an NBA starter. Austin Rivers is not an NBA starter. Alex Burks, I don't trust him in his injury history to be an NBA starter for a long period of time. So it's like, yeah, these guys can play. They can probably play at high levels in spurts, but these positions are yours for the taking. You got to prove that you are better than this journeyman. That's all you got to do. Kevin Knox, you want to show and prove, we'll put all the doubters, the rest, beat Reggie Bullock, and the starting position is yours.
You just hope for my eyes.
When everybody keeps saying, this competition, is it really?
I mean, okay. Some of the guys. Well, let me say this: most of these guys aren't 30 plus this year. Last year, you kind of had guys closer to the 30, and it was like, I don't know if this fits our timeline. Like most of our guys are kind of young. I feel like when you have guys that maybe 25, 26, really trying to find a home, might dig a little deeper, fight a little harder to try to stay here. And then in that battle, help the young guys, do what you say, take that spot from them. Like, hold on. Like, I got drafted this particular position. Like, I'm not going to allow you to come in here. You've been here. You've been in the league. This is my time to shine. So I didn't feel that last year because I just felt the guys were like rinky-dink kind of thrown together, and it was like no rhyme or reason, in my opinion. It was like, okay, well, we're going to get Bobby Portis. Oh, not even 2 hours later, I was signing Mook Morris, and I'm like, wait a minute. You can't just sign people. Where are they going to play? How are they going to play?
I agree. I don't think that Steve Mills had a plan.
Right.
I think Steve Mills had a plan. I think Steve Mills legitimately thought he could get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I truly, with all my heart, I think with all his heart, thought he can get those two players.
Right.
But then that didn't turn out the way he wanted to. I guess he had some kind of false sense of whatever. And then it went to, well, I got to spend this money somewhere. Because $15 million for Bobby Portis is
ridiculous.
I don't know who else is about to offer. I don't even know how much his contract. I think he might have got a 2-year contract for $15 million from Milwaukee, let alone $15 million a year.
Right.
So it's like, I got to sign somebody. I got to sign people. Just throw bodies at people to make it look like we're doing something. And you're right. And here's what kills me about Knicks fans, and they let the media trick them and fool them into thinking people want to come, like big stars want to come here. The last star player to want to sign in New York was Amari.
Yep.
And the only reason Amari, I think, even signed here because he knew his knees were going to go bad, and nobody else was giving him that kind of contract.
Absolutely.
He knew himself his knees were probably going bad. But yeah, we gave him 5 years, $100 million. Nobody else was even doing it. Phoenix. There's a reason Phoenix wasn't even giving him that kind of contract.
Right.
But we just needed to have that star that we can put on the moniker, like, oh, come see this player.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, nobody has ever really came here. Not LeBron burned us. Kevin Durant burned us. Kyrie Irving burned us. And now, because 2 years ago, they're like, okay, we're giving the salary cap for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It didn't work out. Now we're going to clear all this cap because Giannis is going to come here. He wants to play in New York. And it's like, why in the world would, I'm just saying Giannis, who's been on the best regular season team the last 2 years, who has an organization bringing, call it what you want, Chris Middleton can play. Yep. Drew Holiday can play. Brook Lopez can play. Yeah, they messed up with the Bogdanovich thing, but they legit probably, again, will finish with the best record in the East. why would you want to go from that team that's literally a championship contender to come to New York that their own fans, before the season has already started, is saying, let's look at the draft for next year? Why would you put yourself in that position? Because you want to be the king of New York? Because the tabloids are going to name you the king of New York? That makes literally no sense. Because clearly, if you have a team, it's pretty much going to be the same team next year that the fans think is going to be fighting for the lottery. You're going to come here, leave a team that's already a championship, that has all-stars on it, to come to a team that's in the lottery. And people think that we have a legitimate chance at this.
No way. No
And
one thinks we look.
And people think, why they laugh at Knicks fans.
But here's the thing: the media also has a lot to do with that. Because I remember the Zion sweepstakes. Oh,
Well,
the New York Knicks
that's
are going
different
to
because.
And I'm like, how can y'all say this is who we're going to get when y'all don't even know what position in the draft we are? Like, the draft is a crapshoot. So we didn't get the first pick. We got the third. The Knicks blew it again. They couldn't even get they couldn't tank right. And I'm like, but the rules has changed. No longer is it you have the worst record, you get the first pick.
Like it's
now a lottery. We had one of the worst records, and somehow we didn't get it. Listen, it takes a special kind of person to definitely come play in New York. That's why till this day I'm a Latrell Sprewell fan. He was traded here. He laid it on the line until 11 million wasn't enough to feed his family. So you're absolutely right. Free agents never come to New York. They don't.
Yeah, and
the guys that we get are often traded here.
I mean, and the players that we do sign are these fringe C-list players, like the Bobby Portises, the Alec Burks, the players like that. We aren't getting the Greek Freak. People need to give up that fallacy, that notion, like these star players are going to, like, oh, the Knicks are clearing this cap for 21 with all these. Okay, let's look at the big names for 2021. You can already go ahead and take LeBron off.
Yep.
Kawhi and PG-13 are both from LA, so they're probably not going to opt out.
Right.
Chris Paul ain't about to opt out of $45 million.
Nope.
Who else is probably a free agent next year? Anthony Davis didn't resign. So my thing is this. Let's just say that Giannis does sign his Supermax and stay with Milwaukee. We save him this cap money for who next year?
Nobody.
The media the Knicks have. Go ahead.
Well, the media has to sell products. They have to move products. So of course they keep the hype train rolling 24/7 to stay in business. But if you old enough to see the poor free agent signings the Knicks have made over the years, look, like I remember, and I know Chuck B is gonna kill me for this because I keep bringing it up. But I remember us signing Marvin Webster, the human eraser. You know what I'm saying? All over sports traded. You know what I'm saying? I remember that.
That's Knox twin. That's Knox twin.
Huh?
That's Knox twin. Pull up a picture of Marvin Webster and put it next to Knox. That's his twin.
Low motor. Low motor. I remember all these guys. I remember these free agent stuff, man. I remember these guys, man. All these guys we signed to come here. Rolando Blackman, fresh off that run with Dallas. He's going to turn this thing around. Right. Okay. All right. Sure.
Now,
Chris Childs.
Do y'all think we could have got Grant or Christian Wood? Do you think we could have got any of those?
Yep.
I think once we had Obi.
Before the Obi.
Oh, before like if we was like, okay, what free agent should we target?
My point is we could have got one of those if we needed a stretch four. So it's easier to get that stretch four than it is to get a point guard. So I'm going back to the draft and Obi thing. Like that was a hole. If that's a hole that you trying to say is a hole because he's a stretch four and Randle's not a stretch four, we could have got a stretch four. We didn't need to use a draft pick on a stretch four.
My thing is this: why are you trying to spend $10 million a year on a stretch four when you can get one for cheap?
That's no money. That's no money.
Yeah, for stretch fours, the going rate, if you get an elite stretch four, you paying 18 mil plus. And it's not a market that we created, but when you look at the Gallinaris, when you look at the Davis Bertans didn't even start, and he got 18 mil to come back. He'll probably start this year, but before he wasn't even starting, and he got 18 mil. You know what I mean? So the fact, I think the fact that we keep pushing the Obi Toppin, Julius Randle narrative is one where if we all had the opportunity, we all would have done it differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Obi, right? I'm a fan of Obi. I'm also a fan of Julius Randle's game and his value. You know what I mean? I think the fact that we pass on the point guard is not one that we should say. We use it as an escape hatch. Oh, the point guards, they're all the same. We could have found. No, they wasn't. First round point guards are not. There was point guard talent in this draft, and if we wanted one of those guys, we could have gotten them. The fact that we got Emmanuel Quickly is a CAA Kentucky connection, and he happened to. We missed out on the other kid right before us, because I'm certain that they would have loved to get Tyrese Maxey in here as a Knick. He went before that pick, and then so we scrambled. Like, oh my goodness, what do we do now? There were other point guards on the board, and instead of drafting a point guard of the future, we got the Kentucky kid. And I like him, by the way. I like him. But a lot of the narratives are we erase the facts and right in was convenient. You know what I mean? Because Terrell Terry was still on the board. And while he might not have been the best point guard option for the future, he would have at least been a place for us to start. I think the fact that we rolling into the season with Elfrid Payton and Frank Ntilikina just shows the fan base that we had no idea what we were doing at point guard. Why are you bringing back Elfrid Payton and Frank Ntilikina when you know they hadn't done anything for you?
That there was a sense that Leon Rose did want Chris Paul. I do believe, regardless of all the points, I think Leon Rose was like, Chris Paul's our guy for 2 years, so we don't, whatever.
But Chris Paul said he wasn't coming here. Chris Paul said he wanted to stay closer to his son. He had established that.
Leon Rose thought he could get Chris Paul.
Right.
Not what Chris Paul wanted. Leon Rose thought he could get Chris Paul. Right, but then I think Houston asked for too much. And they were like, you know what? It's probably, I think people got in like, that's too much to give up.
Hey Kevin, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, and I know you know your stuff just by listening to you, right? But I'm gonna ask you this: who are the Knicks to say the price for a Hall of Famer at point guard is too much? When's the last time when's the last time your team had a Hall of Famer at point guard?
1974.
Clyde Frazier. Right. So who are the Knicks to say the asking price? You know what? Because I looked at I was with my mom the other day. We were looking at cars, right? And I was like, yeah, what we want to do is keep the monthly payment between $550 and $650. We ain't paying no more because I don't want to have to get a part-time job to pay for a car, right? So she was like, "Ooh, $550. That's right in our line because we didn't want to do is have to adjust bills. So $550 to $650, we good, right? We get in and the guy tells my mom, he's like, hey, so this version right here is $80,000, and so she's like, okay. And so we do calculations. She's like, 775. This too much. I'm like, hey, that's too much. What do you? This thing right here is worth the value. Now it might be too much, but who are you to say what a BMW is worth? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. When it comes to certain stuff, you either if you want it, you got to pay for it, especially if you have the assets to get it. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks could have sent them Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, DSJ, a first round pick, whatever they want for Chris Paul, and I'm sure he would have come. He'd have been here. But for us to say that Chris paying for Chris Paul is too much. I mean, the dude is a bona fide, certified Hall of Famer as soon as he retires. And the Knicks had a point guard in 30 years. So Chuck Allen, would you have paid the cost for Paul?
No. The only reason why the amount of money that he made and Chris Paul is not durable. Chris Paul has been getting hurt late in the season for the past couple of years.
Right.
Do I think he could have helped the team? Of course. I think he would have gotten guys in position, but for what we were going to give up, those were the guys that we were kind of trying to wanting him to tutor and kind of mentor to get better. Right. So if they're gone, then the only person left is RJ. Teams have a thing of fleecing the Knicks.
No, RJ, you would still had RJ, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, think about this. Chris Paul was in LA with the uber athletic small forward and shot blocker. How did that turn out for them?
Okay.
What about Chris Paul, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson?
Oh, that was. I paid to see that. Like I'm not saying Chris Paul. Yes, I am saying Chris Paul isn't worth it because I was about to be disingenuous. Kevin Knox. Okay, so who were we giving up? Kevin Knox and who else?
Kevin Knox, who's giving you nothing. Frank Ntilikina, who's giving you nothing. DSJ, who is giving you nothing. First round picks from the Knicks that you generally don't hit on. Say you give them Dallas's 2023 first round pick, right? All that for Chris Paul, just that for Chris Paul. What have you lost off your roster? Okay,
I would have done that. I like Kevin Knox.
Right.
That's the only reason why I'm having hesitation because I like Kevin Knox and I think he could be a pretty good player. But if that's all you're asking, then yeah, I would give that up. I thought it was going to be multiple picks and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I don't. Chris Paul at this stage in his career isn't, in my opinion, worth multiple first round picks.
Right.
But if you're still going to have RJ and then we're still going to draft Obi and keep Mitch, that would be entertaining to say the least. Like, one thing Chris Paul is known for is being a floor general, being able to get guys in position and bringing the best out of them. So he would have been great for the young guys, but I don't know. Man, I want a young point guard, man. I want a guy that can grow with the team.
The thing, though, Chuck, is you can always get your young point guard. These things are not mutually exclusive. Like say for instance, if you still want Cade Cunningham, you can use your assets to trade up in the draft to get Cade Cunningham. What the Knicks haven't done in years past, which makes Knicks fans think it's impossible, is they don't trade up to say top 3, top 4 in the draft. Say for instance, if the Knicks wanted LaMelo Ball, they could have traded up to 3 to get LaMelo Ball, but they didn't want him. They wanted Obi. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Obi Toppin because they felt like he was a special talent. And everybody in the chat, I just want to say something real quick. Hey, so subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the live stream. I think we probably can go about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, man. And then we'll do the Knicks at night one tonight. So with 5 minutes left, y'all got anything y'all want to say to the chat?
It has just been a pleasure for me to for Freezy to bring me on and share my opinions and thoughts about our beloved Knicks.
Yeah, I want to say just because it's not automatically you're going to get a point guard. You're not guaranteed Cade Cunningham next year.
Right.
So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we'll get a point guard in next year's draft." You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got assets don't mean that team that got this first or second pick is going to give up that pick so you can move up. They might want that guy better than you do. They might need him just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's like the Jets giving up the first pick of Trevor Lawrence. That's not happening. They taking that pick.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Just because you got assets, I'll give you three first round picks. No, this is the guy they think is going to be the future. They taking that guy.
Right.
So we're not guaranteed to get that point guard that we want. You know what I'm saying? So and point guard is the most important position in basketball.
Probably in sports.
Well, quarterback,
I think it's quarterback.
Point guard,
quarterback, point guard,
yeah. They neck and neck, and we're not going to win. We're not going to win without that competent point guard or that dominant wing player that can play point like Luka, Braun. We're not winning without that. So that's my only thing with the Obi thing. It's like, I want that point guard because that's what you need. You need that to win. You know what I'm saying? You could fill in. You could fill in the stretch forward and all that. But
and all other
position to get. That's it.
Chuck Allen, you want to jump in? You got something?
All I'm going to say is I agree. We do need a competent point guard, despite how we all may be feeling. But I think that's why they brought back Peyton. Like, Peyton could run the offense. You couldn't rely on him to hit an open basket to save his life. But he played defense and he knew how to command the offense. I'm not the biggest Lonzo Ball fan, but I'd rather have him than any of the other point guards that's on the roster. And that's all I'm going to say.
All right, I want to wrap it up with this. So the Knicks Morning Drive, I think it has potential and legs. So I'm looking at doing it 8:00 every day, rain, sleet, or snow, 365. Even if I'm not present, then maybe we can get somebody to do it, because it's not just about Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? It's about the Knicks fans having a place that they can, having a sounding board, so that we can, vent about games, roster moves, and just our Knicks in general. Today we got up to like 130 people in here, which was a lot bigger than yesterday. But yesterday I set the bar at 10 people. If I get 10 people and get like 100 views, it was good. This thing has taken off like wildfire y'all have impressed me, brother. You know what I'm saying about platforms like that, because I know there's other Knicks content creators out there that do different stuff, but I don't know if they give y'all the sounding board that y'all can come in and have y'all say. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hey, Bodega Wi-Fi, Sima Singh, my moderators are the best in the game. When I look at them, I know we super straight. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank everybody that came on. Hey, Kevin Wright. Hey, first time. Hey, you were excellent, man. Hey, you good at this. Hey,
Thank you.
That's my man. Chuck B, my man. He gonna set y'all straight. When y'all come through with wild facts, I know he gonna jump on and set y'all straight immediately. Hey, Chuck Allen, thanks for coming on. First time, you did good, man. Hey, you did good. So we're gonna be back on tomorrow at 8:00. I expect to see the same crowd here, maybe bigger. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Again, my mods, y'all doing a great job. I'll see everybody tonight for the Knicks at Night podcast. Y'all have a great day, man, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, peace.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Hey, Chuck, this week, man, I got to talk to you about what we talked about the podcast.
Okay.
So, maybe sometime this week, man. I'll hit you up on I'll DM you on Twitter, so that we can put a meeting time together, so we can get that thing started.
Okay, and I got to straighten out State too, because you asked him a question and he completely dodged it.
Hey, man. Hey, we'll get him. We'll get him. All right, y'all.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get him.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace.